Just Terry Smith.
Here's your KZRG forecast. That extreme cold warning goes until noon. Sunny skies up to around 20 with a wind chill as low as -4. Tonight mostly clear. Overnight low 11. Wind chill as low as -2. Tuesday sunshine getting up to 31. I'm Jeff Eno in the KZRG Storm Center.
Weather is a service of Zimmer Marketing. Make 2026 your year of growth. Update your marketing plan when you partner with Zimmer Marketing and see for yourself why it just works.
KZRG Storm Tracker radar showing clear in the four-state area. It is -5 in Neosho, -5 in Pittsburgh, -4 in Galena, -4 in Joplin. 100 weather updates every 24 hours on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker news talk KZRG. KZRG News Time, 6:08.
If you're looking to build your barn dominium, house, or your dream garage, we need to talk. It's very important to us at Settler Structures that you're informed, educated, and avoid mistakes. That's why we take the time to understand you, your wants and needs, and can design the perfect custom space you deserve. We'd love to be your building partner, but even if you have a builder, let's visit just to make sure you're started on the right path. Learn more at settlerstructures.com. 417-SETTLER.
This is a test. This station is conducting a weekly test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This has been a weekly test of the emergency alert system. If this had been an actual emergency, the attention signal you just heard would have been followed by an official warning or alert information. This station serves the tri-state area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Ben Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G coverage. What? Franklin wasn't even a president. Hang on to those Benjamins. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Home is where the heart is, and the Independent Living Center is here to help you stay there. The Independent Living Center's agency-directed services offer compassionate support for those individuals who require assistance in their homes, empowering them to live comfortably and confidently. This assistance can include housekeeping, meal preparation, shopping, respite care, and authorized nurse visits. The Independent Living Center offers different levels of care to suit the needs of each individual they serve, treating your loved ones and their homes as if they were their own. Medicaid, veterans benefits, and private pay are all accepted.
Hi, I'm Toby Davis with the Independent Living Center. Our mission is to help individuals with disabilities maintain their independence while staying in the comfort of their own homes. Our professional home attendants are committed to providing whatever level of care necessary to accomplish this vision. For details on the many services we're able to provide and how we can help you or a loved one, please visit ilcenter.org.
Radio infotainment live from the Downstream Casino Resort Studio. You're listening to News Talk KZRG. Depend on it. From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
6:11 is the KZRG News Time. Ted Bojorquez.
Lucas Davis.
It is frigid out this morning. -4 in Joplin, -3 in Pittsburgh, -1 in Miami, -5 in Neosho. Good news is nothing else should be falling from the sky for the next handful of days here, which is great. So what's on the ground is on the ground. The bad news, though, we are going to get over freezing on Wednesday for a short period of time, which means what's on the ground is on the ground. It's pretty much not going to be going anywhere. Now, we can kick it around. We're getting it off the roadways in most major communities and all the major roadways, but it's going to be sticking around for a while.
Are we going to get to freezing today? I thought it was going to be below.
Today we have a high of 21. On Tuesday, we have a high of 31. Wednesday, that's the day we're going to be getting above freezing. We're going to have a high of 34 on Wednesday, but it's only going to be 34 for a short period of time. Then on Thursday, we have a high of freezing, 32. Friday, we have a high of 23. Saturday, a high of 26. Sunday, warming back up with a high of 35.
Yeah, the most we'll get of melting is any sunlight today, hopefully, and which that's the one good thing. At least it's sunny.
Right,
So
I will say that.
A little bit of melting, but the moment that sun goes away, anything that melted is going to freeze.
Yeah, keep in mind we have a low tonight of 11, tomorrow night of 8 degrees. 15 is the low on Wednesday, 11 is the low on Thursday, and 1 degree is the low on Friday. So we are bracing for the long cold. But again, nothing coming out of the skies. So that's at least nice that we're not going to be getting too much else. Sunny pretty much most of this week, like Lucas said. That should hopefully help out with a little bit of the snow. But at the end of the day, a lot of the major roads are clear. If you want to take a slight peek-see of Joplin Road, you can go to News Talk KZRG's Facebook page. We put a little video out of just sort of a look at 15th Street, 7th Street in Joplin, 20th Street, Range Line. We also have a look-see at what's going on with Main Street in Joplin. Most of those roads are pretty much clear, but keep in mind, it's still a little slick out there. Give yourself plenty of time to get to where you need to go today. And if you need to use the ice as an excuse for your bosses to not come into work today because you simply don't want to brave the cold, here's a little soundbite for you. Go ahead and hit record right now. This is News Talk KZRG. Far too cold for you to get to work today, so go ahead and just tell your boss to stay in. Yeah, that's a little freebie for you. You're welcome. But if you do need to get around, it's totally tenable. It's not that bad, actually.
It didn't work for me, but it worked for Steve, so I don't know how that works.
That is true. Steve Scott got iced in beautiful CJ, so he's going to be joining us tomorrow. KZRG News Time, 6:15. Jokes aside, though, the roads actually are not that bad. Major interstates are pretty much clear as well. But please, again, just keep in mind, people, really the major danger is just other humans.
Some intersections are bad, so just give yourself a few extra car lengths to stop today.
Yeah, exactly. Drive nice and slow, nice and carefully. There you have it. Speaking of the cold weather, here's another little reminder for you, pets. Pets, like people, can suffer from cold winter weather. So there are some basics that you might not know about. I didn't know about this until doing research for this story that could really, really, really prove incredibly helpful for your fuzzy buddies. When cold snaps like we're going through happen, we're all worried about each other and our pipes and our home. Keep in mind your pets. When it comes to frostbite in pets, it mainly affects their ears, their tails, and their paws. Those are the three major problem areas for frostbite with pets. And it often happens when the temps drop below 20 degrees, which again, in Joplin right now, we're literally at -4 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, watch out for your pet's ears, tails, and paws. Now, when you're out walking your dog, you might see them holding up one foot at a time a little bit longer than usual. Typically, that means their feet are really cold, and it almost like stings for them to walk. So if you see your dog going out to the bathroom this morning, if you take them out for a walk and they're walking goofy, they're probably really, really cold. You might want to bring them inside or try warming up their paws a little bit. Another thing with pets with cold weather, sidewalks. Often they're covered with salt. I'm sure your driveway or the steps up to your home are probably covered with a little bit of salt if you planned ahead, or, any sort of snow melt chemicals. This really, really jacks up dogs' paws. It can really, really sort of irritate them. And then naturally they start licking them and stuff, and then they're ingesting all these chemicals and whatnot, and that's not good for them at all either. So if you take your dog out today, consider wiping their paws when you bring them out back in. Help them out a little bit, because that could be a major irritant for them. A big one with pets, as I'm sure you know, when it comes to indoor-outdoor cats. Lucas knows a thing or two about this. A lot of outdoor cats are going to start looking for somewhere warm to hunker down. And unfortunately, underneath the hood of your car is a prime spot for them. Or by the exhaust, or maybe even just underneath the tires to sort of block themselves from the wind a little bit. find a slightly warmer spot to shelter in. That means when you're getting ready to leave this morning, if you go to start your car, you want to make sure you don't hear the classic as you go and rev up that engine. So it is recommended before you start your car, literally just bang on the hood a couple of times. If there's any outdoor critters under there, they're going to scurry out in a hurry. Check underneath your car really quickly. And that's good advice anyway, just to make sure that your tires are looking fine and whatnot, and that there's not too much snow buildup underneath your vehicle.
Speaking of, Ted, you have a lot of ice buildup underneath your passenger tire.
Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah, I tried kicking it and broke my foot.
Workers' comp for Lucas is what I'm hearing. So, yeah, that's a really big one. The other big one, too, of course, is if you have outdoor dogs, just bring them in. It's just not worth it. Speaking of dogs going outdoors, there's a lot of reports nationwide, and I didn't realize this, but it makes sense. When dogs see snow, especially slightly bigger ones, they tend to actually get excited. They like to play in it. It's kind of exciting for them. Unfortunately, if you have a rather rambunctious dog and you open that front door and the dog runs out excited to go romp and play in the snow, they could actually get lost really, really easily. And the reason why is because dogs, obviously, they navigate on sight, sound, and smell, just like you and I. Well, suddenly, all of the sights of, their normal environment now look different, so it's easy for them to get confused, to not really know where they are. Also, when snow's on the ground, it blocks a lot of the sense. A lot of the sense that they are used to and accustomed to is being blocked out by the snow. So, again, they get a little disoriented, and snow is really, really, really good at absorbing sound. So if your dog runs outside and is really excited to go play and even gets just a block or two away from his home, he can get lost and confused very easily. And if you call for him, the snow is a great insulator of sound, absorbs a lot of it. It could be harder for your dog to hear you. So it's harder for them to smell, harder for them to recognize their immediate surroundings by sight, harder for them to hear. So keep that in mind. It's really easy for dogs to get lost on snow days like this. Consider leashing them, or just maybe even keeping them indoors, or maybe don't even let them out in the front. If they want to romp and play, maybe send them to the back where it's secure. So those are just a couple of little cold weather animal pet tips for you there. You can check out even more of them on newstalkkzrg.com. That's where you can find those. KZRG News Time, 6:20. Again, we're looking at the negatives today on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. News Talk KZRG.
KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
According to international reporting, a 2-day crackdown in Iran has led to as many as 30,000 protesters being killed, making it the deadliest short-term mass killing documented in modern history. Where are all the cries for human rights violations from the left? Non-existent.
Number 2.
With the weekend snowfalls across the U.S., more than 11,000 flights were canceled, nearing the record of more than 12,000 that was seen in 2020 due to COVID. The snow has left nearly 1 million Americans without power as well.
Number 1.
Speaking of this weekend's snowfall, Joplin saw over 7 inches of snow. Neosho saw between 6 and 8, and parts of Carthage saw as much as 9. Major roads in the area are mostly clear, but please drive cautiously and give yourself plenty of time to get to where you need to be.
Now, the KZRG question of the day on News Talk KZRG.
What are your thoughts on the killing of Alex Brady, the guy I shot in Minneapolis? We want to know your thinking. Go to newstalkkzrg.com. Alex Brady was shot and killed. What are your thoughts on it? Coming up, what's going on with your money on News Talk KZRG.
Here's your KZRG forecast. We will hit the low 30s, it looks like, for Tuesday. Now, keep in mind, mid-40s is the average high. The closest we will get to that is the mid-30s on Wednesday. And then it gets cold, especially as we move back towards Friday. Extreme cold warning, the old wind chill warning, goes until noon. Sunshine up to around 20 today. Wind chill as low as -4. Tonight mostly clear, low 11. Wind chill as low as -2. Tomorrow sunny, up to 31. Jeff Eno in the KZRG Storm Center.
Planning to store your RV this fall and winter? Don't let it sit and cost you money. Let Cola RV Consignment help you sell it fast. With Cola, there's no hassle. Their skilled team handles marketing, nationwide exposure, all paperwork, and they've got the largest used inventory in the Midwest. Let Cola RV put your RV in front of eager buyers today. Visit Cola RV in Carthage and turn your RV into cash before the snow falls. Don't store it.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Raymond, good morning. Thanks for coming in, keeping us updated. Everyone stay safe and stay warm. Yes, thank you, Raymond. Appreciate you being here. Rick, it's cold. I had to bring my goldfish inside. It's so cold. I had to break. Good morning, Suzanne. Yeah, here's what you need to know this morning for everyone tuned in. It's going to be cold today. It's going to be cold. But like I said, not too much is going to be falling from the skies. Actually, really nothing at all for the rest of the week. So whatever's down is down. Unfortunately, it ain't going to be melting anytime soon. So whatever's down is down. -4 in Joplin, -3 in Pittsburgh, -1 in Miami. That's what we're looking at right now. We do have an extreme cold warning that's in effect. That's going to be in effect pretty much all day today.
It's noon today, isn't it?
Noon, yeah. I mean, yeah, all morning.
All day for us.
Right. All morning, I should have said. So please keep that in mind. That's going to be sticking around. But yeah, major roads are pretty clear. Most of the major roads in Joplin, 20th, Range Line, Main Street, 15th, 7th Street, most of that is clear. Side roads, kind of touch and go. We have reports that major roads in Neosho are mostly clear. We have reports that major roads in Carthage are mostly clear. But if you see something, say something. Let us know.
Looking to buy or refinance your home? You want to have local lenders who know the area and will make certain to get you the best options available. At Community Bank and Trust, you won't find pushy salesmen, but you will find neighbors that will give you accurate information and will help you find the mortgage that works best for you. Get started at one of the local employee-owned CBT locations or apply online in as little as 10 minutes at cbthomebank.com. Community Bank and Trust, where trust is so important, it's in our name. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 580491.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Meta said it is halting teens' access to artificial intelligence characters, at least temporarily. Meta Platforms, which owns Instagram and WhatsApp, said the change will go into effect in the coming weeks. This applies to anyone who gave Meta a birthday that makes them a minor. TikTok users have reported widespread issues with the app, including login problems and feed disruptions. The outage peaked with over 36,000 reports, primarily concerning the app's general functionality. This follows a deal on January 22nd that restructured TikTok as a majority American-owned joint venture to avoid a U.S. ban. Flight cancellations have mounted as the U.S. was hit with dangerous winter weather from a storm that moved across the country. FlightAware.com reports that airlines canceled more than 11,000 U.S. flights for yesterday. That's the most for a single day since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Futures are slightly lower. On Monday, the Dow lost 285. That's Your Money Now.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Catch my show every weekday. It all starts at 2 for honest news, truthful news on News Talk, KZRG. Depend on it.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk, KZRG.
6:27 is the KZRG News Time. Ted Bojorquez.
Lucas Davis.
On FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. Cold is the theme of today. -4 in Joplin. It's -3 in Pittsburgh. -1 in Miami. -5 in Granby. If it was a race to the bottom, Granby would be in first place with -5 because that is chilly. We also, of course, have extreme cold weather warning in effect for pretty much all of the 4 states. That's going to be in effect until around 12 noon. Now, a couple of pieces of good news and a couple pieces of bad news. The good news is nothing's going to be falling out of the sky for the rest of the day, so that's good. Actually, really for the rest of the week. So whatever's on the ground is on the ground. It's not going to get much worse. The bad news is whatever's on the ground is on the ground because it's not going to get much better. We're not going to get above freezing until Wednesday of this week, and even then, just barely. We have a high today of 21. We have a high tomorrow of 31. We have a high on Wednesday of 34, where we could get maybe some snow melt, and then we're right back to freezing on Thursday at 32 with the high. On Friday, we have a high of 23, Saturday 26, Sunday back above freezing just barely. We have a high of 35. So what's on the ground is on the ground. Good news is major roadways for local communities are pretty much clear. Main Street going through Joplin is pretty clear. Range Line is pretty clear. 7th Street in Joplin, pretty clear. 20th Street, pretty clear. 15th Street, pretty clear. Some of the side roads are less than clear. Please keep that in mind. We also have reports that Neosho and Carthage, most of the main roads and main thoroughfares through the city of Neosho and Carthage are pretty much clear as well. We did get word from the city of Joplin that trash services will not be running today. So please keep that in mind. They're going to decide on whether or not they're going to be running tomorrow later on today. So later today, they'll make the decision if trash services in Joplin are going to happen tomorrow. But they are certainly not happening today. So please keep that in mind for Joplin residents that take advantage of the trash services. Something else to keep in mind. Most schools are closed today, pretty much across the board for all the 4 states. Pretty cut and dry, as to be expected, I'm sure. So traffic is going to be a little funky today for a couple of reasons. One, please drive real slow. Give yourself plenty of time to get to where you need to be. That's going to be one change with traffic flow this morning. And 2, no school traffic this morning or this afternoon. Because, again, pretty much all classes across the board, whether it's college, high school, middle school, elementary school, pretty much canceled across the board. So keep that in mind as well. KZRG will have some more updates for you later on this morning. If you see anything out in the 4 states, if there's an intersection that you come across that you think people should be warned about, we are physically located here in the studio. So unfortunately, right now, we're not cruising around. We might not see them. But if you do, when you get to where you are going safely, feel free to text us at 417-782-1310. Say, hey, I just came off the corner of 3rd and Tarval. It's looking pretty rough. Let people know. Text us what you're seeing. If there's roundabouts out there that look particularly icy that you think people need to be aware of, feel free to leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app. We'll get the word out. So, we want to be your mouthpiece. Whatever you see with your eyes and ears, let us know, and we'll help keep the 4 states warm on your behalf. So we appreciate you for that. Don't forget, coming up at 7:10, Joplin Mayor Keenan Cortez, still braving the elements. He's going to be a trooper and join us live here in the studio, and we're going to be talking all about that big data center vote that took place last week. If you have concerns, questions, comments for the mayor on it, feel free to text us at 417-782-1310. We'll get as many of those concerns and comments and questions to him as we can. KZRG News Time, 6:30.
At 6:30, I'm Lucas Davis. Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG. Iran's warning. Minnesota lawsuit. Tax season begins. And no one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. We have an extreme cold warning through noon today. We're heading for a high of 21. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Jeff Eno following KZRG Sports at 6:38. It's cold in the 4-state area, -5 in Neosho, -5 in Pittsburgh, -4 in Galena, -4 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker News Talk KZRG. A visual warning to the U.S. is unveiled in Iran.
If you sow the wind, you will reap the whirlwind. That slogan forms part of a new mural unveiled in Iran's capital, Tehran. It's a direct warning to the United States not to carry out an attack. The image shows an aircraft carrier with damaged and exploding fighter planes on its deck. Blood flows from dead bodies into the water, forming stripes like those on the American flag. Right now, the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier and several other warships are on their way to the region. Tension remains after Iran brutally snuffed out anti-regime protests. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Just 2 days after another deadly Minneapolis shooting by federal agents, Minnesota goes to court to stop the Department of Homeland Security's enforcement.
CBP Commander-at-Large Greg Bovino said Sunday there will be no backing off their duties.
Our Title VIII immigration mission continues unabated here in Minneapolis.
Minnesota leaders seek to force ICE and Border Patrol to leave after shootings that have killed 2 Minnesota residents. State Attorney General Keith Ellison said he'll be in court today arguing that the federal government has infringed upon Minnesotans.
Because of politics, which violates our First Amendment rights. The 10th Amendment, which we are entitled as a state to equal sovereignty, and we have been denied that.
The lawsuit seeks an immediate temporary injunction to halt immigration enforcement. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Today marks the joyous start of the 2026 tax filing season.
The IRS says today is the day you can start filing your 2025 taxes, which are due by April 15th. So get those W-2s or 1099s in hand. Changes to keep in mind this year due to the so-called Big Beautiful Bill include new deductions, like up to $25,000 on tips and over $12,000 in overtime. The federal limit on deducting state and local taxes was raised to $40,000 for most people. And there are also deductions for those older than 65, as well as for those who purchased U.S. assembled vehicles. You can apply for a tax filing extension, and the IRS does not demand a reason, but you do need to file an official form. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
It's -4 at 634 on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker News Talk KZRG.
The Red Cross warning you to prepare for these extreme colds.
Officials are urging residents to prioritize safety and stay indoors during extreme cold. If your home loses heat, seek shelter at a local library or warming center. If you must head outside, layer your clothing and cover your mouth to protect your lungs. For those on roads, keep your gas tank full and pack an emergency kit with sand, blankets, and water. Finally, look out for one another. A quick call or text to an elderly neighbor or a friend with medical needs can truly be a lifesaver today. You can see the full list of Red Cross safety tips inside the KZRG app. For News Talk KZRG, I'm Ethan Thomas.
Bill and Hillary Clinton failed to show up to testify before Congress about their knowledge of the Epstein saga. Both have been held in contempt of Congress, being referred to the DOJ. Southwest Missouri Congressman Eric Burleson told News Talk KZRG,
I do know that if we can get this to Pam Bondi, they've assured us that they will follow through and she will prosecute.
If convicted of contempt of Congress, the Clintons could spend up to 1 year in jail. Yeah, right. It is -5 at 636. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG.
Bills are making their way through the Missouri legislature that would make sexual grooming, which is a precursor to physical sexual abuse, a crime. Madison works with Missouri State Senator Jill Carter's Vulnerable Youth Advisory Board. And Madison told News Talk KZRG exactly what grooming is.
It is a manipulative process that sexual predators use to gain trust of their victims in order to ensure compliance and prevent disclosure.
2 bills have been introduced in the Missouri House, with the sister bill in the Missouri Senate being sponsored by State Senator Jill Carter.
Tesla wants its drivers to do less driving.
Tesla, the EV car company headed up by Elon Musk, is discontinuing its assisted driving program called Autopilot, which helped to keep the vehicle centered in the lane and provided a speed-adjusting cruise control. Instead, Tesla is transitioning its full self-driving software from an expensive purchase to a much less expensive monthly subscription. FSD automatically steers, accelerates, slows, and brakes using smart tech to understand traffic flow, though still requires drivers to be alert and involved. Eben Brown, Fox News.
And now with sports, here's Lucas Davis on News Talk KZRG.
In NFL postseason action, the Patriots beat the Broncos 10-7 in the AFC Conference title game. The Seahawks beat the Rams 31-27 in the NFC Conference title game. The Patriots and the Seahawks will match up in Super Bowl 60 in 2 weeks. In prep basketball, the Carl Junction boys beat Harrisonville 59-53 over the weekend. The Webb City boys beat Blue Valley Southwest 56-53 in the Frontenac tournament. The Thomas Jefferson boys beat Pierce City 46-23 in the Tony DuBray Classic title game. And the Thomas Jefferson girls beat Sheldon 28-16 in the Tony DuBray Classic consolation bracket. In D2 basketball, the PSU men and women games against Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh were postponed due to weather. The makeup date has yet to be announced. That's your Crossland Construction Sports Report. Lucas Davis, News Talk KZRG. Your news is brought to you by Kansas City University. KCU Joplin is hiring dentists and full-time staff to join their dental education team. Local dentists can make a lasting impact, full-time, part-time, or even 1 day a week. Apply now at kansascity.edu/jobs. I'm Lucas Davis.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news at 7, breaking news as it happens on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker News Talk KZRG. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. And now KZRG meteorologist Jeff Eno.
Here's your KZRG forecast. We will hit the low 30s, it looks like, for Tuesday. Now, keep in mind, mid-40s is the average high. The closest we will get to that is the mid-30s on Wednesday. And then it gets cold, especially as we move back towards Friday. Extreme cold warning. The old wind chill warning goes until noon. Sunshine up to around 20 today. Wind chill as low as -4. Tonight, mostly clear, low 11. Wind chill as low as -2. Tomorrow, sunny, up to 31. Jeff Eno in the KZRG Storm Center.
KZRG Storm Tracker radar showing clear in the 4-state area. It's -5 in Neosho, -5 in Pittsburgh, -4 in Galena, and -4 in Joplin. 100 weather updates every 24 hours on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG. KZRG News Time, 640.
Good morning, everybody. Sarisa said, last night I was debating someone on Facebook and woke up to find they had deleted all their comments. So I'm feeling irrationally pleased with myself today.
That's why I screenshot so I can remind them of what they said after they do that.
They delete their comments, you just post the screenshots on the comment section?
I usually say this coward deleted these comments, and then I'll post all the screenshots.
Oh, that's funny. Good morning, Chris. Sarisa, by the way, good morning.
I did out people on Facebook, though, because I said, I'll talk about this on air, too, when we talk about it, but I said, you can always find the weak spots in the or in the movement, because that's who the Democrats will attack, and that's who they found with this
Alex
this
Preddy?
martyr, yeah. And sure enough, there were two conservative women that jumped on my status saying, he didn't deserve. I go, thank you for outing yourself as the weak points in this movement.
You mean the conservative movement?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I say, I go, thanks for outing yourself. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, thanks for playing.
Thanks for playing my game.
Yeah, basically, and we'll get to this on air, but for those that are tuned in right now on our live, it's going to be cold today. We have an extreme cold warning in effect until 12 noon, but it's still going to be, cold. Maybe not technically extreme after 12 noon, but definitely cold. Our high today is 21.
I think right now is the coldest it's been all weekend.
Oh, yeah. -4 in Joplin, -5 in Pittsburgh, -1 in Miami, -7 in Neosho.
This weekend the low was what, like 4 or 5? Like,
yeah.
never got down to negatives.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, anecdotally,
this afternoon it's going to get warmer than it was all weekend.
Right.
21.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think we had a high of 11 or 12.
Roads are not bad though. I mean, anecdotally, yesterday
Just intersections.
I drove to the falls in Joplin to get photos because it was so pretty out.
Yeah, that's a normal thing to do.
Don't
go out on the roads unless you have to. Hey, let's go get scenic photos of the falls.
I'm just saying. They're not that bad, is my point.
Yeah.
As long as you're driving,
the state troopers, they're not that bad.
As long as you're driving somewhat well, and you're being patient and just aware of your surroundings. And also, I went to the falls to
defy this highway patrol. I
No,
know.
for news purposes.
Yeah,
I went and got video of the roads.
Went in his own personal vehicle.
I went to go check out to make sure that
with his significant other, I'm sure, because Ted doesn't go take photos of stuff on his own. That was somebody else's idea.
I can't take photos?
That's a woman's idea. I guarantee you.
Is it?
Guarantee that
taking
was not
photos
Ted's idea.
is a woman. Okay,
yes,
all
guaranteed. Not one time, but when Ted was single, I've ever heard him say, "Hey, you know what? Let's go take photos of the falls.
They look nice. It was freezing.
Let's go
Why
out
would
there
you not go?
Let's go out there when it's -4."
Every weekday starting at 11 on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. News Talk KZRG.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
6:43 is the KZRG News Time. Ted Bojorquez.
Lucas Davis.
And despite our sunny demeanor here on the radio this morning, it's definitely chilly out today.
So awful.
It's -4 in Joplin, -5 in Pittsburgh, -1 in Miami, -7 in the Neosho area. We do have an extreme cold warning in effect in the 4 states, pretty much all of it, until 12 noon today. But don't let that time deceive you, because it's still going to be pretty cold by the time 12 noon rolls around.
The good news is the wind is not blowing, because that is dangerous. When it's this cold and the wind blows, that's when it gets real bad.
Oh, real bad. Now, the other good news is what's on the ground is on the ground, because pretty much nothing is going to be falling out of the skies for the rest of the week. The bad news is we are not even going to broach above freezing until Wednesday, when we have a high of 34, which means what's on the ground is on the ground. It's pretty much not going anywhere. Now, the good news is major roadways in most major communities are pretty much clear. Joplin, most major roads are pretty much clear. By major, I mean, of course, Main Street, Range Line, 20th, 15th, 7th, those ways. Residential streets are still looking fairly rough, so please keep that in mind as you're cruising around. And also intersections can be a little bit rough for areas like Neosho, Carthage, out in the sticks, out in the boonies, still not looking super great for parts of the area. We have a high of 21 today. 31 is the high tomorrow. 34 on Wednesday is the high. 32 on Thursday. And on Friday, we have a high of 23. So it's going to be chilly all stinking week long. Please give yourself plenty of time to travel, because like I said, the snowiness is going to be maintaining itself, but most major roadways pretty good. 6:45 is the KZRG News Time currently. We also have a couple of words that we want to sort of whisper in your ear here. One, pretty much all schools are going to be closed today, so that is going to be impacting traffic for the better. So just keep that in mind. Pretty much all schools across the board. Name your community. Schools are probably going to be canceled.
It'll be interesting to see how long they're actually closed for. Just because of, people in the country. I mean, trucks really don't get out there like the infrastructure here. They don't have enough trucks to get out to the country real quick, so that's usually the people that have a hard time getting into town to go to school and whatnot.
Right, exactly. We also got word from the city of Joplin that trash services that typically, take place today, not happening. And they also might not happen tomorrow either, but we'll keep you up to date on that. But yeah, trash services in Joplin not happening. We also got a call. By the way, if you see anything, hear anything, feel free to text or call us at 417-782-1310. We got a call from one of our local fuel haulers, and he let us know that it's been pretty hard for our fuel haulers over the weekend to get to where they're going. So some truck gas stations, some traditional gas stations might be a little low on fuel. Now, don't panic. This doesn't mean we're out of gas. Yeah.
Don't panic. Have you seen the shelves of grocery stores around here?
It's been pretty brutal.
They panicked.
Yeah.
People panicked. It was insane.
I went to Walmart on Friday right after we got off the show here.
Yeah.
Literally, I didn't know where the bread aisle was because I was like,
there was none. Yeah.
Where's the bread aisle? And then I go and look at the signs and I go, oh, this is the bread aisle.
Yeah, where is
There's
it?
just no bread.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But seriously, don't panic. We did just get a call from one of our local fuel haulers that some stations might be a little low on gas. They're not out. They just let us know that fuel haulers had a hard time this weekend getting to where they need to be. So just keep that in mind. If you don't need to travel today or if you're worried about the amount of gas in your car, maybe just stay in.
Yeah, don't go to the falls and take pictures.
I was telling a story off air. As part of my news duties yesterday, I cruised around Joplin and was getting some video of the road so that way you can see them. If you didn't want to go out, you could check it out on our Facebook page, newstalkkzrg.com newstalkkzrg on Facebook. And I stopped by the falls in
news
Joplin.
Duties.
And
Stop by the falls.
the roads, even out by the falls, are actually not that bad.
Always working, this guy.
What can I say? Workaholic over here. So if you need to cruise around, it's not awful, but just be smart. Please be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the surroundings of others.
Yeah, if you don't have an SUV or a truck and you live out in the country, it's not worth it.
It really isn't. Yeah, well, I saw a lot of sedans, a lot of little smaller cars definitely getting stuck around Joplin. Just on the side of the road, it can be hard for them. So if you don't have 4-wheel drive or a larger vehicle, I would stay in. Otherwise,
at minimum, front-wheel drive.
Yeah. Otherwise, you should mostly be fine. Getting into some other national news here. There was another shooting and killing by ICE agents in Minnesota over the weekend that resulted in the death of an American that was protesting and was, resisting arrest. He was actively trying to block ICE agents from doing an operation, and things got out of hand, and now he's dead. Now, Alex Preddy was the victim. He was 37 years old. He lived in Minneapolis, and he worked as an intensive care unit nurse at a U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs hospital. I mean, this guy... This wasn't like your average schmuck, I would argue, right?
No.
But nonetheless, he was there. He was protesting ICE agents, and that happened.
Here's the thing. Wrong place, wrong time. Guy shouldn't have been there. He was there protesting and told his parents, supposedly there's a story in, I believe, the Baltimore Sun-Times. His parents told him to be careful when he's out there protesting, so he was there doing it. This is what the political left wanted. Mm-hmm. They wanted somebody like this who was an everyday person to go out there, and now they have a martyr.
Worked with U.S. veterans.
Yeah, worked with U.S. veterans and everything. Now they have someone who can be their martyr. Mm-hmm. Because he shouldn't have been out there, point blank. Nobody should be out there getting in the way of ICE doing their jobs. So that's first and foremost. They found a martyr now. And with this martyr, they're starting to find the weak points in the conservative movements. You're starting to see people... Well, they shouldn't have been so rough with them. They shouldn't have done this. They shouldn't have done that. These are conservative people talking now. They're starting to find people who are giving in to ICE is out of control and all that on the right, and now you're starting to see little cracks in the armor, and this is what the left wanted. It's going to be interesting moving forward to see how long it takes for them to just get ICE out of Minnesota, because I think that's what's going to end up happening.
Probably, it's entirely possible. Something else, too, to consider, there was reports, within an hour of the news of this guy being shot and killed, within an hour of his death, left-wing organizations started putting out email blasts for fundraising. Within an hour, they were making money off
Within
of
an hour, I've never seen so many left-wing Second Amendment supporters in my entire life.
Oh, and that's the other thing. And by the way, we are going to get more into the details at around 7:40. But but yes, this individual, he was a Second Amendment believer. He was carrying a firearm with him legally. It was legally purchased, and he had a legal permit to carry it out on the street. And so that's something else that the left is really, really pushing of, how come conservatives aren't upset? He was a Second Amendment guy. He had a gun, blah, 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 all this stuff. And we're going to be getting more into the details on this individual at 7:40 this morning, the shooting that took place. But the news that I wanted to break this morning is as a direct result of this protest where this guy was shot, even before the shooting took place, Federal officials say that it completely derailed an immigration arrest attempt, and the suspect that ICE was there to detain to begin with escaped. So, and that's the bit of news that I wanted to break for you just this morning at 6:51, is that these protests, they're not just, oh no, don't do this, carrying signs and all that. No, they're literally helping wanted criminals escape the law.
That's been the goal the whole time. It's never been just a protest. It's been to interfere with the actual ICE operation.
I think
and that's how you get hurt.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's how this Alex Preddy guy gets
another
hurt.
thing. If you're going to protest, ICE agents doing their job and try to prevent them from doing so, don't show up with a loaded weapon. That's dumb. That's a stupid thing to do, to show up to a loaded weapon if you're going to get involved with a law enforcement officer.
If you're going to get involved?
If you're going to protest and get in the way of someone doing their job, that is dumb to bring a loaded weapon to that.
Well, you shouldn't be getting in the way to
At
begin
all.
with, number one.
And you darn sure shouldn't be bringing a loaded weapon to do so, regardless if it's your right or not, because all that's going to do is escalate a situation.
Yeah, I mean, it is your right, though, to carry a gun.
It is not your right to carry a gun while getting in the way of law enforcement doing their job.
Well, first off, it's not your right to get in the way of law enforcement.
That's
full
what
stop.
I'm saying.
It is your right to carry a gun wherever you want.
But if you're going to go protest and get involved and get in the way of law enforcement, carrying a gun's not a good thing to do. That's how you get shot.
It's probably not
because I guarantee
smart.
you that guy doesn't get shot if he doesn't have a gun on him.
Yeah, I could see that. If he didn't have a gun on him,
situation escalated all because he had a gun getting involved in a protest,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm all for protesting. I'm all for carrying. I'm not all for going and getting involved in law enforcement doing their job and preventing them to do so while carrying a loaded weapon. That's stupid.
The combination of the two is problematic in your mind.
That's dumb.
Interesting. What are your thoughts? Leave us an open mic message. Again, we'll have much more on this saga at 7:40 this morning. KZRG News Time, 6:53.
Here's your KZRG forecast. We will hit the low 30s, it looks like, for Tuesday. Now, keep in mind, mid-40s is the average high. The closest we will get to that is the mid-30s on Wednesday. And
Good morning, everybody.
That Fox story was dumb. The PP or the P320, maybe it went off. That gun is trash, and it does have history doing that, but there's no way that's why that guy got shot.
Well, and we'll get more into that, but we're on with our friends this morning.
That's like a silly.
Joshua, -9 in Stella. No school, no work. Love it. Let's stay on the ground. Let it stay on the ground. Joshua said, this is why I fielded up on Friday. Good call. Suzanne said, you are so right, Lucas. So very sorry that he lost his life. But you are so right, Lucas. Teresa says, the shooting was the topic I was debating. The left is just using people to further the conflict. They absolutely want a civil war. Girl Chris, good morning. You still have to be smart about when you carry. Yeah, I agree. Girl Chris, 100%. Lucas, agree. Also, good morning. Yeah. Yeah, no, if you want to carry a gun, I think you should be able to do so. But
100%.
You know, this
anywhere you want. But you also have to be smart. If there's a building that says, hey, don't carry a gun in here because we don't want you to, you got to do that as a gun owner.
If a building?
Yes.
No, that's how you get mass shooters targeting.
Hey,
Let me tell you,
for that.
the gun-free zone signs have never stopped a mass shooting.
If you carry a gun in gun-free zones, you will get arrested.
I'm sure you will. I'm just saying that's never stopped a shooting.
No, but I'm saying as a gun owner, as a responsible gun owner, you can't carry in those buildings because that makes responsible gun owners look bad.
Well, and then there's the line of the law, the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law. Because the spirit of the Second Amendment, in my mind, is to be able to protect yourself and your family. Mm-hmm. Whether that's at a mall or a Starbucks or on your own 100%. Property. That's the spirit of the law. And just because a mini mall decides to put a gun-free sign on their door, that in of itself, in my mind, makes them a prime target for mass shooting.
It sure does.
So why wouldn't you carry your gun in there?
Because you just don't go in there.
Well, I don't know
That's
about that.
the thing. Because you can get in trouble, and then all of a sudden, you're one of the criminals that didn't follow the laws.
It's possible, yeah. That's one outlook. I
makes
think that
gun
undermines.
Carriers look bad if you do it.
I think that undermines the whole point of.
You're 100% right, but I'm just saying that's like an unwritten law for gun carriers. They generally don't go in places like that if they can't carry.
I think
because they're not going to break the law. Because it just makes them look bad, like gun owners in general. But you are 100% correct. Those places are dumb.
invasion had ties to the Minneapolis Democratic Party power structure. We're now learning this. Both of the head hooligans in Sunday St. Paul church invasion are connected to the Minneapolis St. Paul political power structure. One is a prominent Black Lives Matter activist, a member of the St. Paul School Board, proudly claiming the gang was imitating Jesus when it stormed the church to harass the congregation. The other attorney is a past president of the Minneapolis NAACP chapter, former mayoral candidate claiming the goons were doing the Lord's work because it's unconscionable and unacceptable for an ICE overseer to dare preach the word of God.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
All right, what Pure Talk's favorite holiday is? President's Day, because they believe wireless service should only cost you a couple of presidents, just a Jackson and a Lincoln to be exact. And for $25 a month with Pure Talk, you can get unlimited talk and text, plenty of data. Compare that to their competitors. Now, the big carriers would rather celebrate Benjamin Franklin Day so they can charge your family hundreds and hundreds every month. And by the way, he wasn't even a president. Pure Talk is a veteran-owned company that supports veterans' causes. They invest in the U.S. They have a U.S. customer service team. When you call, you're talking to someone right here at home. And Pure Talk, they use the same cell towers, same 5G network. You get the same service without the inflated price. $25 a month, unlimited talk and text and plenty of data. No contract, no cancellation fee. Just dial pound 250. Say the keyword save now. You save an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250. Keyword save now. Make the switch to Pure Talk.
Hey, Clay Travis here. Join me and Buck Sexton weekdays from 11 till 2 right here on News Talk KZRG. You can depend on it.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Just before 7 on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. -3 in Joplin, -5 in Pittsburgh, -1 in Miami, -5 in Neosho. It's going to be chilly pretty much all day today. We do have an extreme cold warning in effect until 12 noon for pretty much all of the 4 states. Please keep that in mind. We have a high today of 21, high tomorrow of 31, high on Wednesday of 34. High on Thursday of 32. So it's going to be cold. Major roadways mostly clear as long as you have a car that isn't a tiny little smart car, and as long as you have some common sense in your head, you should be able to get around the 4 states relatively fine today. But if you don't need to travel, just don't. Stay off the roadways if you can.
If you do have a little smart car, what are you doing? Come on.
The 4 states news, talk, and severe weather station. KZRG, KIXQ HD2, Joplin. A free service of Zimmer Marketing. It's 7 o'clock.
23 inches of snow. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That is the biggest total in the massive storm measured in Pennsylvania. There's at least a foot of snow in a dozen other states and a lot of ice across the South.
Been a very difficult situation in our state. I will say that. We've had a truly historic storm.
Tennessee Governor Bill Lee, his state has the most power outages still this morning out of the 800,000 homes and businesses without electricity. And Lee tells Fox it's tough on crews with ice-covered trees.
Very dangerous situations. These limbs are falling down every day and every minute.
Driving remains difficult, too, from Texas to New England. Fox's Rich Edson's in Washington, D.C.
Walking around here isn't exactly like walking through the snow. It's walking on top of the snow. That's because of that layer of ice that sits on top of it. It's a big mess to try to remove from roads and sidewalks, but they are trying here. The plows are out. Number of stores and transit all trying to get back on track here on this Monday.
The storm is blamed for at least 9 deaths, including a teenager killed in a sledding accident in Texas. Her sled was being pulled by a Jeep at the time. There could be more deaths in Bangor, Maine, where a small plane went down last night in snowy conditions, then caught fire.
8 people were on board the private aircraft when it crashed around 7:45 local time on Sunday evening. Fox 26 Houston reports that the tail number of the plane is linked to a Houston, Texas law firm. There is no word on the conditions of those on board.
That's Fox's Tanya J. Powers. For those trying to take flights as the storm wanes, it's still difficult at airports. Another 3,800 cancellations. Yesterday, there were more than 11,000 flights grounded, the most since early COVID times, March 30th, 2020. The anti-ice protests continue in Minnesota. Angry over Saturday's shooting that left protester Alex Preddy dead, Democrats demand federal agents leave and that evidence from the shooting be preserved, which a judge ordered before a hearing today. Deputy U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche tells Fox.
We're going to go to court to say exactly what we're doing, which is, of course, we're investigating. We always investigate any conduct like this, any shooting like this. And
America's listening to Fox News.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. We have an extreme cold warning through noon today, hitting for a high of 21. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Jeff Eno following KZRG Sports at 7:08. It is -5 in Neosho, -5 in Pittsburgh, -4 in Galena, -3 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG. The Red Cross says prepare for severe winter storms and extreme low temps.
Officials are urging residents to prioritize safety and stay indoors during extreme cold. If your home loses heat, seek shelter at a local library or warming center. If you must head outside, layer your clothing and cover your mouth to protect your lungs. For those on roads, keep your gas tank full and pack an emergency kit with sand, blankets, and water. Finally, look out for one another. A quick call or text to an elderly neighbor or a friend with medical needs can truly be a lifesaver today. You can see the full list of Red Cross safety tips inside the KZRG app. For News Talk KZRG, I'm Ethan Thomas.
Well, the 4 states area, we're still digging out from that winter storm over the weekend. Stay off the roads if you can. MoDOT says some roads could remain snow-covered into the middle of this week. Joplin saw a little over 7 inches. Neosho saw a range between 6 and 8. And we have some reports of up to 9 inches in the Carthage area. So please stay warm, stay safe, and go to newstalkkzrg.com for a detailed list of winter weather safety tips.
A lack of transparency. Lieutenant Governor David Wassinger told the KZRG Morning News Watch that Jefferson City really needs some fixing up.
Yeah, I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary in office. I came in and looked at this. You know, my perception 2 years ago when I was an outsider was the place is totally dysfunctional. I've had an opportunity to witness it for a year. Guess what my prognosis is? The place is totally dysfunctional.
He says he's pushing for more accessible video live streams so that you're able to follow their legislative work more easily. It is -3 at 7:04. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG.
It was Troop D's 4th fatality of the year for the Missouri State Highway Patrol. Just before 5:30 Saturday evening, a southbound Honda Civic crossed the center line on Highway K, striking a northbound Dodge Ram. The driver of the Honda was a 19-year-old from Aurora and was pronounced dead at the scene. 3 people in the Dodge Ram were taken to a hospital in Springfield. A 37-year-old passenger is in serious condition, while a 9-year-old boy and the female driver both being treated for moderate and minor injuries.
Missouri gambling regulators have rejected an NCAA request to ban bets on college athletes' performance. The move comes 1 week after the NCAA urged state gambling boards to ban college athlete prop bets because of recent scandals. Prop bets focus on individual player performances like points scored in basketball or passing yards by a quarterback in football. The NCAA argues these bets are vulnerable to manipulation. Missouri already prohibits prop bets on athletes playing in games involving Missouri colleges, but it allows them for all other games.
Now with sports, here's Lucas Davis on News Talk KZRG.
In NFL postseason action, the Patriots beat the Broncos 10-7 in the AFC Conference title game. The Seahawks beat the Rams 31-27 in the NFC Conference title game. The Patriots and the Seahawks will match up in Super Bowl 60 in 2 weeks. In prep basketball, the Carl Junction boys beat Harrisonville 59-53 over the weekend. The Webb City boys beat Blue Valley Southwest 56-53 in the Frontenac tournament. Thomas Jefferson boys beat Pierce City 46-23 in the Tony DuBray Classic title game. And the Thomas Jefferson girls beat Sheldon 28-16 in the Tony DuBray Classic consolation bracket. In D2 basketball, the PSU men and women games against Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh were postponed due to weather. The makeup date has yet to be announced. That's your Crossland Construction Sports Report. Lucas Davis, News Talk KZRG. Your news is brought to you by Kansas City University. KCU Joplin is hiring dentists and full-time staff to join their dental education team. Local dentists can make a lasting impact full-time, part-time, or even 1 day a week. Apply now at kansascity.edu/jobs. I'm Lucas Davis.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news is 7:30. Breaking news as it happens on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Now KZRG meteorologist Jeff Eno.
Here's your KZRG forecast. That extreme cold warning goes until noon. Sunny skies up to around 20 with a wind chill as low as -4. Tonight mostly clear. Overnight low 11. Wind chill as low as -2. Tuesday sunshine getting up to 31. I'm Jeff Eno in the KZRG Storm Center.
Weather is a service of Zimmer Marketing. Make 2026 your year of growth. Update your marketing plan when you partner with Zimmer Marketing and see for yourself why it just works.
KZRG Storm Tracker radar showing cold in the four-state area. -5 Neosho, -5 Pittsburgh, -3 Galena, -3 Joplin. 100 weather updates every 24 hours on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG. KZRG News Time, 7:07.
New year, new diet, new workout, new you? Those New Year resolutions never stick. What about New Year, new space you actually enjoy? Declutter your home with a roll-off dumpster from Reliable Roll-Offs and create a space you can come home to and truly relax.
Good morning, everyone. Suzanne, we got Suzanne Square. Good morning. Sheila, good morning. Yes, prayers for the families of everything and for the four states, for sure, with the snow. Eileen, good morning, Eileen. How you doing today? Good to see you. We got the mayor coming up. If you got questions for him, let us know. If you got questions, we're going to be talking about the data center. Hey, Jody, we got the Queens Way for you.
Pound 250, say micro, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, micro, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Julie from Van Beesler Greenhouse and Feed Store gets our gardens ready for spring.
Wintertime is the perfect time to go ahead and get your garden ready for spring. Get you some mushroom compost, garden soil, and work it into your garden, and then you'll be ready when the timing is right. You're going to want to start with onions and potatoes mid-March. We offer seed potatoes, onion plants, and onion sets. Think about broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, some of your cold crops late March. And there's some seeds that you're going to want to purchase and get. Come on in and talk to us. We'll help you with the timing of your crops, with different good tips to know. It's just a fun hobby to take on and so rewarding when you get those vegetables and taste the difference from store-bought. We will definitely be back in Joplin this spring at the Rock Yard at 8th and Schiffdecker. Really enjoy bringing our product over to the Joplin area.
Get 4 generations of gardening experience at Van Beesler Greenhouse and Feed Store, just east of Pittsburgh on Highway 126.
The latest is always heard on News Talk KZRG. Broadcasting from the Downstream Casino Resort Studio, this is News Talk KZRG. From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
7:10 is the KZRG news time. -3 in Joplin, -5 in Pittsburgh. It's -3 in Miami, -5 in the Neosho area. Cold today. As a matter of fact, we have an extreme cold warning until around noon for most of the 4 states. Please keep that in mind. We also have pretty much most schools in the entirety of the 4 states going to be canceled today as well. So that is going to make a slight change in your morning commute. If you do need to cruise around this morning, please do so cautiously, safely, and give yourself plenty of time to get to where you're going. Joining us live this morning is Joplin Mayor Keenan Cortez. Mayor, thank you for toughing it out and joining us here.
It's colder than, and I'll just let everybody out there listening finish that sentence. I had on my vehicle on my drive-in this morning up to 10 below.
Jeez Louise.
As I was coming in this morning. It is really, really cold. This is dangerous cold weather, everyone. Please, please, please layer up, bundle up. Ears, fingers need to be covered. Don't try to be a hero this morning. This is dangerous. You can get frostbite really quickly. Take care of yourselves and be careful. And if you don't have to get out, just pull the covers back up over your head and go back to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, speaking of frostbite, thank you, Mayor, for bringing that up. If you don't know the symptoms of frostbite or what to do or how to protect yourself from it, you can go to news.kzrg.com, click on the article, and it'll give you some helpful tips on how to identify it and what to do. Well, Joplin Mayor, of course, the big talk of the town, aside from Snowmageddon, which we're going to get into later on this morning, is that big vote that took place last week. For those that are listening, in case you missed it, basically the city council voted last Tuesday to annex a parcel of land and then rezone it to heavy industrial, paving the way for the private landowner to most likely build the data center, now within the purview of the city of Joplin. And Mayor, my question for you this morning, what was going on in the council's mind? Why did you guys vote to annex that land and ultimately rezone it?
I think the first thing I should say here is it was not a unanimous vote. There were some dissent in that vote. It went down 6-3 to annex the land, 7-2 to rezone it. From anytime land is annexed, and I think this is important to mention here, anytime land is annexed into the city, it automatically, by default, comes in at R1 residential. That's just the way it's set up. It's the way it was set up a long time ago. You live outside the city limits, you want your property annexed into the city limits, it's automatically by default going to come into the city as R1. So most of the time, unless we're annexing a residential property, if we annex land into the city of Joplin, it's always followed by a rezoning to whatever it needs to be. Now, having said that, annexing property and rezoning property at the same time is very, I wouldn't say mundane, but very routine for the city council, for Joplin. We do that frequently. You might have John Smith, who owns 20 acres of land that's living right outside the city limits. He has some plans to maybe build his dream house or develop it and put a couple things, maybe throw up some manufactured homes on it for his family. He can benefit, that property owner can benefit from some city utilities, and homeowners insurance wise, having police and fire protection could help him out, save some money down the road.
But you guys knew this wasn't just a normal, annexation, right? I mean, you guys were aware that there was a data center. That is far from mundane. No?
Absolutely. And that's not a brand new conversation. That conversation has been going on for a number of months, if not years, prior to last Tuesday night. Mm-hmm. But annexing a property into the city limits, not something that's not routine for us. Rezoning it to something is not something that's unusual for us. Now, there are a lot of people, obviously, that showed up at City Hall last night. I've talked to people that said they spent 2.5, 3 hours in just the stairwells trying to get to the chamber so they could hear what's going on. Never heard anything that was going on. Decided that wasn't the best way to spend their evening, so they ended up leaving. But we had tons and tons of people come to Joplin City Hall to the point where, our fire department is getting a little concerned should there be an emergency that happened. There are a lot of emotion with this potential development. I get all that. Understand it 100%. But I also do believe that we can get through things like this civilly, and we can talk like adults and try to get the facts out, even our viewpoints out, and not have to beat each other over the head with a ball bat.
Right.
It's going to be, and there's a second reading and third reading coming up on February the 2nd on this deal. So it's not over with yet. I imagine we're still going to hear a lot from the community about their either support and or not support of this incident. But it is capturing a lot of the attention of a lot of citizens. And there's the concern that some citizens have is it's not unfounded. If you're concerned about your electric bill going up because you're going to have a large electric puller coming into your community, those are concerns that most normal people would have. The water and how much water is this going to take? Is it going to damage our aquifer? Is it going to cause us to maybe put some polluted water out into the environment? Those are concerns that normal people have, and are not things that should be just shoved under the rug and not considered. However, information that I've been given and information that is yet to come out, there's some things that we don't know yet, and I don't want to go along projecting a potential outcome on some things that I don't know all the information yet.
So if the city council, Joplin-area, Keenan-Cortez here on News Talk KZRG, didn't have all the info, which is reasonable, these deals are fast, a lot of them are behind closed doors with private business people, why the rush? Why not pause the whole annexation vote until next month or something, where it seems like everyone became privy to what was happening and then bam, vote immediately? Why not pause it?
Well, and sitting on the city council side of this wasn't rushed. There has been conversation about this with the landowner for a long time. He's had that property up for sale for decades. So on the city council side of things, this wasn't a rush deal. It naturally flowed like that. If you go to planning and zoning on the second Monday of every month and you have something up for review by the Planning and Zoning Committee, that generally comes to City Council on the third Monday of the month. Planning and Zoning rules on it on the second Monday, City Council rules on it on the third Monday. Not unusual. It's the way it happens. And for people that I guess you would say on the inside, this is something that's been talked about, whether secretly or publicly, or I don't believe it was just talked about for years, that the landowner wanted to annex this part of his property or sell this part of his property, and there's potential that there could have been an industrial park. We've talked about that because there's rail out there. We've talked about data centers. We've talked about a number of different things that could go on this property that was always going to be some type of industrial for a long period of time. When I talk about things that are unknown yet because the studies haven't been done, one of the things I think that should be said more that hasn't been said yet is studies. There's 12 that need to be completed before any dirt could be turned and any wall could be erected. If those studies come back and say this isn't feasible for this piece of property in this location at this time, it's not going to work, it's going to be too much damage to the environment, it's going to require too much of this or too much of that, nothing's going to get built. But we've got to get those studies done before. And because those studies aren't done doesn't mean the landowner can't ask for an annexation and a rezoning. It's just one of those things that has to happen along the way. But there's still a whole lot of environmental studies and all kinds of things that have to happen with this property in order to see ultimately what the landowner would probably like to have, which is a data center, maybe an AI data center erected on this site. But there's a whole lot of things that have got to happen first. Mm-hmm. And we've just got to take them one step at a time.
All right. And Joplin-Mayor Keenan-Cortez here on KZRG. Who pays for these studies? Is that the city, the county, or is that the private landowner?
The private landowner is paying for all of this, as well as the proposed data center, if you will, that is potentially coming into that site. Said, we're going to take on all expenses in making this project happen if it's going to happen. They're paying for nothing. The Joplin citizen taxpayer isn't going to be out a dime on this.
Right. And does the city know who the potential AI data center builder is, the superscaler is?
I don't know if there's people in the city that know or not. I don't believe there is, because I definitely don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It has not been disclosed yet. And I think that's the potential person or company that's coming in. I think that's the way they want it at this time.
Right.
They haven't talked to me personally about it.
It's Joplin Mayor Keenan Cortez here on KZRG. Mayor, we're up against the clock here a little bit, but Joplin roads, the efforts of the city to sort of make sure that people can get to where they're going. Have you been in talks with them about that? How confident are you out there today?
City manager, city engineer, and I all went to the barn, if you will, on Saturday night, talked to those guys as they're getting in and out of their trucks, bought them some pizza, thanked them for what they're doing. They're working around the clock, 12-hour shifts, 6:30 in the morning, 6:30 in the night. And when they're coming off at 6:30 at night, another crew's coming in. They've been working around the clock. Your main roads are very passable this morning. They have done a fantastic job of making sure that people can get to the medical centers and normal traffic and flow on our major thoroughfares. I know we're up against the clock, and I want to say one more thing before I go off here. Your city council members are doing what's being asked of them. They are ruling on information that is put before them, which is generally routine for us. The city of Joplin is not building a data center. This is not the city of Joplin doing this. We do have some jurisdiction over annexation and rezoning, but this is not a city of Joplin project. And people need to understand that distinction. You should see some of the mail that I've gotten in the last week. Thank you guys for what you're doing here. You have been on the air. You've been keeping people safe. You've been telling them about the weather and the road conditions. Valuable asset in our community. Thank you for that. And everybody under the sound of my voice, if you got to get out, extra time, be careful. We don't need any accidents. You don't need the deductible. Please be careful today.
Yeah. Joplin Mayor Keenan Cortez, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Thank you for braving the elements in here, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right.
Have a good one. KZRG News Time, 7:23. Coming up next, a look at that weather with KZRG's meteorologist, Terry Smith.
Here's your KZRG forecast. We will hit the low 30s, it looks like, for Tuesday. Now, keep in mind, mid-40s is the average high. The closest we will get to that is the mid-30s on Wednesday. And then it gets cold, especially as we move back towards Friday. Extreme cold warning, the old wind chill warning, goes until noon. Sunshine up to around 20 today. Wind chill as low as -4. Tonight mostly clear, low 11. Wind chill as low as -2. Tomorrow sunny, up to 31. Jeff Eno in the KZRG Storm Center.
When your pet feels their best, you can see it. In every wag, every stretch, every happy moment. They truly are my best friends. And that's why I really want to make sure I'm doing everything I can to keep them healthy and happy.
At Pinnacle Vet Clinic in Neosho, grooming is more than a beauty routine. It's an important part of keeping your pet healthy, inside and out. Regular grooming helps maintain healthy skin and coat, keeps ears clean, and nails neatly trimmed. Little details like that make a big difference in your pet's comfort and well-being. And you can trust the same Pinnacle Vet Clinic team for your regular vet visits and grooming, which makes it easier on you and your dog. They take the time to make each grooming visit relaxing and safe, so every pet feels cared for and comfortable. Help your pets thrive with a grooming appointment with Pinnacle Vet Clinic. Find them online at pinnaclevetclinic.com or on Facebook. When you want the best for your pets, go to Pinnacle Vet Clinic on Hammer Road in Neosho.
I say we set some goals together this year.
Ooh, I like it. Let's make some changes. Hey, let's travel. Let's save money. Let's lose 30 pounds.
Whoa, take it easy there. Let's start with 15 pounds. I want goals that we can actually accomplish.
I would like to feel more accomplished.
Agreed. I know what we'll do. We'll start with a call to Begaway.
Okay. And exactly how will that make me feel more accomplished?
Well, it helps make sure our home and business is protected from all the pests, including termites.
Hey, it's Doug and Rory. You can make sure you're protecting your biggest asset this year with a call to Bugaway Pest Control.
With our Pest Away plans, you can have regular year-round services with hassle-free scheduling.
And of course, it comes with Doug and Rory's pest-free guarantee. Make sure your home or business is protected this year. Get started on your Pest Away plan at bugawaypc.com.
We do exactly what we say. We keep the bugs away.
Customer satisfaction is our number one goal at Bugaway Pest Control.
Got a vision in your head? A Pinterest board full of sparkle? Or maybe just a wild idea sketched on a napkin? At Como Jewelry, we love that. Our custom design process lets you dream big and be part of the magic from start to finish. We'll help you create a piece that's 100% you. Come see us in Pittsburgh or at our brand new Joplin location at 3401 North Range Line. Como Jewelry, your jeweler for a lifetime, and your custom creation headquarters.
News, talk, commentary, and hard truths. All those can be heard when you tune into the Mark Levin Show every weekday from 5 to 8 on News Talk KZRG. Depend on it.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
7:26 is the KZRG News Time. Ted Bohorkin.
Lucas Davis.
On FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. Joining us live this morning, not Terry Smith. It's KZRG meteorologist Jeff Eno. Jeff, thanks for being here today.
Good morning, and Burr.
Yeah, no kidding. What the heck is going on with this weather?
Yeah, this is a nice little Arctic blast that is going to linger a little while, but we are going to see a little bit of improvement Tuesday and Wednesday, and very little, emphasis on little. The average high is mid-40s, and we'll get to the mid-30s, it looks like Wednesday, and that's about as warm as we'll get. We did come out of the weekend with a little bit of the wintry weather, obviously not as bad as some of the folks on the East Coast saw, but we're fortunately going to stay away from that, but these temperatures will leave a little something to be desired, up to around 20 today. We do have that extreme cold warning, and if you are curious about the wording, which I know that Weather Service changed it, that is the old wind chill warning. So now it's an extreme cold warning, which I think that's meant to maybe scare folks a little more, because the wind chill warning doesn't seem like it's that threatening, but that extreme cold warning, got to watch out for that. It goes until noon today, and we're looking, again, wind chill maybe as low as -4, but lots of sunshine. We will get some of that radiant heating, but very little again there. We fall back to 11 tonight, mostly clear, wind chill around -2. Low 30s Tuesday with sunshine, and then mid-30s on Wednesday. Another day in the low 30s, it looks like, for Thursday, and then as we head into the weekend, we're going to see low 20s on Friday, but we will start to warm up just slightly as we go through the weekend, and we'll hit the peak in the mid-30s for Sunday. So it does look like sunshine through the weekend, and we do stay dry all the way through the week.
Mm-hmm. KZRG meteorologist Jeff Eno here. Jeff, are we expecting anything else to be falling from the sky?
Not anytime in the near future here, and that's going to be, it looks like, all the way into the upcoming weekend. I'm seeing nothing but maybe a few clouds moving in and mixing in here and there, but for the most part, it is looking like a mostly sunny forecast. Again, maybe a few clouds coming in for Thursday, and even through the nighttime hours, it looks like that is going to be a little frontal system that comes through Thursday, but it will be a dry front as it does get cold again on Friday.
Jeff, we've been in a drought conditions for much of the winter. How much does a storm like this really have an impact on the area once the snow melts?
Not a whole lot. It's one of those that the snow, as far as the conversion to water, you have to have a whole lot of snow to be able to make that big of a difference. And with this one, the precipitable water and the different language that they use with the Weather Service just didn't do a whole lot as we saw these. As far as the increments of snow, I think I looked at yesterday officially maybe 0.04 of an inch, and I know that there may have been some spots that saw a little bit more, actually 0.06 of an inch. But again, not a big difference maker there to try and put a dent in things.
Mm-hmm. Now, Jeff, in terms of weather science, I know we're not really getting above freezing until briefly on Wednesday, but with sunlight, does that impact any potential melt at all, or are we just sticking with what's out there as is?
Now, it definitely, even with the temperatures not getting up above freezing until, like you said, we get into pretty much Wednesday, with that sunshine coming down, especially on roads, it does actually make an effect as far as some of the melting goes. Now, the issue is when we freeze for the overnight hours, of course, we could catch some of that refreeze, but if we can get a little bit of a wind going, then that will also help to kind of dry things out. But the sun, it definitely does play a part. And if you are in a sunny area and the winds are, and as a matter of fact, not much wind today, it's going to blow a little harder tonight. But if you are in one of those spots where not a lot of shade, you are definitely going to feel that radiant heating, and it will warm things up a little. But as far as the melting goes, it does help with that as well.
KZRG meteorologist Jeff Eno, thanks very much for joining us this morning.
Yes, sir. Stay warm, fellas.
As do you, sir. We'll talk to you again soon. Coming up after the news, more info on some local road conditions, along with more info on some weather outlook locally, along with, of course, that shooting that took place in Minneapolis with ICE agents. That's all coming up next on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk, KZRG.
At 7:32, I'm Lucas Davis.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG. Iran's warning.
Minnesota lawsuit.
Tax season begins. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. We have an extreme cold warning through noon today. We're heading for a high of 21, plenty of sunshine. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Jeff Eno following KZRG Sports at 7:38. It's -5 in Neosho, -5 in Pittsburgh, -3 in Galena, -3 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG. A visual warning to the U.S. is unveiled in Iran.
If you sow the wind, you will reap the whirlwind. That slogan forms part of a new mural unveiled in Iran's capital, Tehran. It's a direct warning to the United States not to carry out an attack. The image shows an aircraft carrier with damaged and exploding fighter planes on its deck. Blood flows from dead bodies into the water, forming stripes like those on the American flag. Right now, the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier and several other warships are on their way to the region. Tension remains after Iran brutally snuffed out anti-regime protests. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
2 days after another deadly Minneapolis shooting by federal agents, Minnesota goes to court to stop the Department of Homeland Security's enforcement.
CBP Commander-at-Large Greg Bovino said Sunday there will be no backing off their duties.
Our Title VIII immigration mission continues unabated here in Minneapolis.
Minnesota leaders seek to force ICE and Border Patrol to leave after shootings that have killed 2 Minnesota residents. State Attorney General Keith Ellison said he'll be in court today arguing that the federal government has infringed upon Minnesotans.
Because of politics, which violates our First Amendment rights. The 10th Amendment, which we are entitled as a state to equal sovereignty, and we have been denied that.
The lawsuit seeks an immediate temporary injunction to halt immigration enforcement. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Today marks the joyous start of the tax filing season.
The IRS says today's the day you can start filing your 2025 taxes, which are due by April 15th. So get those W-2s or 1099s in hand. Changes to keep in mind this year due to the so-called Big Beautiful Bill include new deductions, like up to $25,000 on tips and over $12,000 in overtime. The federal limit on deducting state and local taxes was raised to $40,000 for most people. And there are also deductions for those older than 65, as well as for those who purchased U.S. assembled vehicles. You can apply for a tax filing extension, and the IRS does not demand a reason, but you do need to file an official form. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
It is -3, and it's 7:35, FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG.
The Red Cross wants you to be ready for these extreme low temps.
Officials are urging residents to prioritize safety and stay indoors during extreme cold. If your home loses heat, seek shelter at a local library or warming center. If you must head outside, layer your clothing and cover your mouth to protect your lungs. For those on roads, keep your gas tank full and pack an emergency kit with sand, blankets, and water. Finally, look out for one another. A quick call or text to an elderly neighbor or a friend with medical needs can truly be a lifesaver today. You can see the full list of Red Cross safety tips inside the KZRG app. For News Talk KZRG, I'm Ethan Thomas.
Bill and Hillary Clinton failed to show to testify before Congress about their knowledge of the Epstein saga. Both have been held in contempt of Congress, being referred to the DOJ. Southwest Missouri Congressman Eric Burleson told News Talk KZRG.
I do know that if we can get this to Pam Bondi, they've assured us that they will follow through and she will prosecute.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they will. If convicted in contempt of Congress, the Clintons could face up to 1 year in jail. I look forward to that. It is -4 at 7:36. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG.
Bills are currently making their way through the Missouri legislature that would make sexual grooming, which is a precursor to physical sexual abuse, a crime. Madison works with Missouri State Senator Jill Carter's Vulnerable Youth Advisory Board, and she told News Talk KZRG what exactly grooming is.
It is a manipulative process that sexual predators use to gain trust of their victims in order to ensure compliance and prevent disclosure.
2 bills have been introduced on the Missouri House side with a sister bill from the Missouri Senate that's sponsored by Missouri State Senator Jill Carter.
Tesla's going to spin it. They want you to do less driving.
Tesla, the EV car company headed up by Elon Musk, is discontinuing its assisted driving program called Autopilot, which helped to keep the vehicle centered in the lane and provided a speed-adjusting cruise control. Instead, Tesla is transitioning its full self-driving software from an expensive purchase to a much less expensive monthly subscription. FSD automatically steers, accelerates, slows, and brakes using smart tech to understand traffic flow, though still requires drivers to be alert and involved. Eben Brown, Fox News.
Now with sports, here's Lucas Davis on News Talk KZRG.
In NFL postseason action, the Patriots beat the Broncos 10-7 in the AFC Conference title game. The Seahawks beat the Rams 31-27 in the NFC Conference title game. The Patriots and the Seahawks will match up in Super Bowl 60 in 2 weeks. In prep basketball, the Carl Junction boys beat Harrisonville 59-53 over the weekend. The Webb City boys beat Blue Valley Southwest 56-53 in the Frontenac tournament. The Thomas Jefferson boys beat Pierce City 46-23 in the Tony Dubray Classic title game. And the Thomas Jefferson girls beat Sheldon 28-16 in the Tony Dubray Classic consolation bracket. In D2 basketball, the PSU men and women games against Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh were postponed due to weather. The makeup date has yet to be announced. That's your Crossland Construction Sports Report. Lucas Davis, News Talk KZRG. Your news is brought to you by Kansas City University. KCU Joplin is hiring dentists and full-time staff to join their dental education team. Local dentists can make a lasting impact, full-time, part-time, or even 1 day a week. Apply now at kansascity.edu/jobs. I'm Lucas Davis.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news, it's 8 o'clock. Breaking news as it happens on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG. No one gets you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Jeff E.S.
Here's your KZRG forecast. We will hit the low 30s, it looks like, for Tuesday. Now, keep in mind, mid-40s is the average high. The closest we will get to that is the mid-30s on Wednesday. And then it gets cold, especially as we move back towards Friday. Extreme cold warning, the old wind chill warning, goes until noon. Sunshine up to around 20 today. Wind chill as low as -4. Tonight, mostly clear, low 11. Wind chill as low as -2. Tomorrow, sunny, up to 31. Jeff Eno in the KZRG Storm Center.
KZRG Storm Tracker radar showing clear in the 4-state area. It is -5 in Neosho, -5 in Pittsburgh, -3 in Galena, -3 in Joplin. 100 weather updates every 24 hours on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG. KZRG News Time, 740.
Horses and buggies rolled down the roads, most of which were dirt. People were flocking into the area with the hope offered by the successful mining going on there. It was Joplin in 1892. And that same year, the company that would become Satterley Plumbing, Heating, and Air was founded. Since then, the roads have all been paved, the mines have closed, and you sure don't see horses on the streets anymore. But Satterley is still keeping area residents comfortable in their homes. And they're proud to continue that tradition as a premier Lennox dealer. It's the perfect pairing, Satterley and Lennox, two companies with a rich history of quality. If your heating and air system isn't keeping your home comfortable, contact Satterley about repair or the installation of a brand new system.
I'm Barrett Satterley.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Chris Younger said, stay off the roads if you can, unless your friend who is a girl hand-picks you to go take pictures of the falls.
Exactly. He knows.
Do
you know how hard I've worked for this? I've laid out magazines with vacation.
Rules for thee, not for me.
Dustin, good morning. Dustin said, just because they rezone and annex it doesn't mean they will put a data center in.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Might be able to build new homes and possibly more places of business. Great job.
Yeah, well, they're not building homes because he's switching it over to industrial.
Right. So, yeah, no homes for sure.
No more residential.
That's for sure not happening because they did rezone it to heavy industrial. Probably not
Here's what's going to happen. If the study comes back that it can hold a data center is going in. If it doesn't, then it's going to be like
it'll be
some
regular,
sort of manufacturing.
It's going to be a traditional industrial park.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's zoned properly for like brick and mortar businesses.
No, it's not.
It would be a factory.
It's heavy industrial.
It would be industrial, yeah.
I feel like that's what a lot of people in the community don't realize, that it's not going to not happen. Something's going there. Like this guy has spent 20 years curating the land, like for this to happen. Like, it's
and by the way, I'm not against heavy industrial.
No.
I'm not against creating jobs and having a little.
I'm not against the data center as long as it doesn't skyrocket the.
Right, the data center. Yeah. I agree with Lucas. The data center conceptually does not bother me. What bothers me is, will our bills go up? Will it suck up all of our water? Will it
overload the grid?
Will overload the grid? What happens when there's a major power outage?
Right.
Who are they going to service first? You and I, or are they going to service the data center first? Those are the things that bother me. If we could get a guarantee or some sort of promise that all that stuff will be good for the people, then I don't care. Put a data center. That doesn't bother me.
And honestly, a data center would probably be less invasive toward like sound pollution, truck pollution, like all that.
And that's what the landowner was saying. It's like, dude, it's not actually, in terms of sound and noise and traffic pollution, people pollution, it's not that big of a problem.
Going on? Then join me, Chris Plant, every weekday from 9 to 11 on News Talk KZRG. Depend on it.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Just before 7:45, -3 in Joplin, -7 in Pittsburgh, -3 in Miami, -5 in Neosho. It is cold today. We do have an extreme cold warning in effect until 12 noon for pretty much all the 4 states. We have a high of 21, high of 31. Tomorrow on Wednesday, we finally get above freezing with a high of 34, so just barely. And at Thursday, we get to freezing with a high of 32. So pretty much what's on the ground is going to be sticking around on the ground. That being said, major roadways in major communities, Joplin, Carthage, Neosho, pretty much clear. I could say for certain places like Range Line in Joplin, Main Street, 7th, 20th, 15th, pretty much clear. All the major thoroughfares clear. For interstates and highway, MoDOT did one heck of a job clearing most of the major thoroughfares for interstates and highways, as did KDOT. So that's pretty solid as well. Where you are going to have a problem are side roads, residential streets, and parking lots. That's where issues are going to start stemming from. So just keep that in mind.
Intersections
that intersect not major roads. Yeah, could be a bit of an issue. So just keep that in mind, please, as you're cruising around. Schools, most schools in the 4 states area are canceled pretty much across the board. So there's that as well. We are also getting reports, by the way, just for your edification, from fuelers, fuel haulers. We're having an issue getting from point A to point B to point C to point D over the weekend because of the snowfall. So we have reports not only from a local fueler who gave us a call, but Also, people are sending us screenshots of some local gas stations. They have signs out that say no fuel or low diesel or low fuel or things like that. So if you need to get gas today, you might have a problem with that. Now, it's not the end of days. We're all good. There's no major shortage at all. There's just a little bit of a strain. That's all.
Unless you need milk or eggs.
If there's a strain for milk, eggs, and bread, yes. But for fuel, I don't want to panic you. You're fine. The point I'm trying to get at is, one, keeping you aware, and two, if you are going to get gas today, maybe don't. You know, you don't really need to get around. If you don't need to get around, don't get around. And gas might be a little bit slightly more difficult to come by than on your average day of the week. So that's sort of the speed run of some of the weather updates we have for you here. We'll have more of them for you later on this morning, but we had some questions and we wanted to help break the news on this in case you missed it, and that is that dude that was shot and killed by ICE agents over the weekend in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We have some intel for you on who this guy was. Very basically, ICE agents were conducting an operation to try and arrest an illegal criminal, and a group of protesters showed up with the express goal of stopping them, which ultimately they did because we have reports that the illegal criminal that they were targeting got away. And during the protest, an individual by the name of Alex Preddy, 37 years old from the area, got way too involved in trying to stop the ICE agents and was resisting arrest, got roughed up, and ultimately was shot and killed. Now, this guy, like I said, 37 years old, he's an American citizen who worked as a nurse for an intensive care unit for veterans. He worked specifically for the Veterans Hospital. So, that's something to consider. He also had a gun on him. Now, here's where it gets a little complicated, is that he was a legal gun owner. He had legally purchased the gun, and he did, in fact, have a permit which granted him the right to carry that gun. He had the gun on him during the altercation, and ultimately, the ICE agents saw the gun, which is likely what escalated the situation. He was then tackled by, if you look at the video, it's all over the internet, probably 5 or 6 agents were tackling him. One of them clearly grabbed the gun away from him and removed it from the scene, got out of there with this victim's gun, and then a few seconds after the gun was removed, bop, 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 they just unloaded on the dude. Dead. So now people reportedly are eyeing the weapon as part of the reason why people theorize this guy was shot and killed. Apparently, the popular handgun that he had has a history of unintentionally firing. And some people think, is it possible the gun went off accidentally, which is what triggered these ICE agents to open fire on him, despite the fact that he no longer had the gun on him? Now, the gun in question apparently was a loaded Sig Sauer P320 9mm pistol.
And they're trash. They do go off on their own. Like, it's been documented. I've seen videos of it, like on gun ranges. And
there's
a lot of instructors won't let you on their gun range with that firearm.
Right. Now, so allegedly some people are saying, hey, maybe that's what was the trigger, no pun intended, for the agents to open fire on this dude.
I think that's a stretch. You have an investigation. That's what this calls for. If the guy was unarmed and was shot in the back by
Well, he wasn't unarmed. He was armed.
I'm saying if they got the gun away from him and
Which
he didn't
they
have
did.
the gun on him, he's unarmed at that point in time.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
And if you get shot in the back by an officer of the law, that officer should be held accountable for that. So
Yeah.
we just have a trial. This is what happens.
Right.
But at the same time, what I said earlier, if you're going to protest where law enforcement are going, where ICE is going, don't bring a loaded handgun. Is it your right? Absolutely. Will it escalate the situation? 100%.
Right.
So if you're going to go get in the way of law enforcement doing their jobs, don't do it with a handgun loaded. Don't do it with any kind of firearm, because all you're doing is going to escalate the situation. But that's exactly what the left politicians wanted in this case, and now they have it. They have a martyr.
Right.
This guy was killed, and they're going to keep harping on that, blaming ICE, instead of, you know what? Maybe if these people weren't out there getting in the way of ICE, they wouldn't be dead.
Right.
How many ICE people or how many ICE officers have point blank killed illegal immigrants in the streets while trying to detain them?
I don't know of any.
Okay. Now, how many have they done it to white liberals?
What do you mean?
2 in the last 2 weeks.
I see what you mean.
Because they don't get out of the way of a law enforcement doing their jobs.
Right.
And all of this situation could be avoided if they just stay home, but that's not what the politicians want. They're sitting there riling them up continuously. You saw Walls from behind his iron gate at his house with a megaphone or something like that, challenging the people to challenge. Just all of it is just propaganda nonsense.
Right. Yeah, I could see. I could see that. We also got a message from TJ. He said, "Please stop pushing that false narrative about his gun going off." TJ, I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying some people think
there's a story out.
There is a story. There are reports that it is possible. We don't know. We're not trying to push a false narrative. We're just letting you know this is the talk of the town, and this is what they're going to be investigating. Did his gun accidentally go off? In the video that I saw, it did not appear to, but I wasn't there, so. The court of the law is going to go through the system, and they're going to try and litigate and figure out exactly what happened here. That being said, I think what you said, Lucas, was super fascinating, this idea of how do you balance rights and responsibilities? It is, in fact, this guy's right to carry.
100%.
He was a legal gun owner. He had a legal permit to do so. He followed the laws. I have no issue with that.
Responsible gun owners also know that if you're going to be carrying, you have to know what situation you're carrying in. You and I were talking about this earlier. As a responsible gun owner, if you're going somewhere like a church or a mall where they don't allow you to carry your gun, that is their right to say that, and you don't have to go in there. But if you do go in there, then you can get in trouble with the law for carrying a gun in a gun-free zone. That is against the law, and you, as a responsible gun owner, should know whether or not to go in that establishment. If you don't want to give up your right to carry, don't go in that establishment. If you're a gun owner and you're going to a protest, you know that that's going to escalate the situation if you go in there carrying.
Right. I think so here's a counter to that slightly, is there is the letter of the law and there's the spirit of the law, right? The spirit of the Second Amendment is to be able to defend yourself and your property and your family from danger. Danger exists whether there's a little sign that says gun-free zone or not. In fact, I would argue if I was a mass shooter, which I'm not, by the way, if I was and I saw a gun-free sign, I would say, great, target-rich environment, and there's nobody in there that can stop me.
And you get what you get when you're
Those are the most
gun-free
dangerous places. Why would you not carry in a place like that?
When you're a gun owner, you have to, like I said, you have to know the responsibility. That dude went into that situation obviously looking to be aggressive with a loaded weapon on him. That's dumb. You're going into a situation. That's
totally
what I'm saying.
Dumb.
That's dumb.
No doubt.
Was he within his rights? 100%. Was he stupid? 100%. Because you were going in there into an already volatile situation where these ICE officers are already dealing with garbage nonsense all the time, 100%,
right.
nonstop. So they're already going to be.
And they're scared for their
That's what I'm
safety.
saying. They're already going to be at peak rigidness in terms of what they're doing. You bring a loaded gun to that, you're just asking for trouble.
What are your thoughts? Leave us an open mic message. We want to know. You can also text us at 417-782-1310.
Here's your KZRG forecast. We will hit the low 30s, it looks like, for Tuesday. Now, keep in mind, mid-40s is the average high. The closest we will get to that is the mid-30s on Wednesday. And then it gets cold, especially as we move back towards Friday. Extreme cold warning, the old wind chill warning, goes until noon. Sunshine up to around 20 today. Wind chill as low as -4. Tonight mostly clear, low 11. Wind chill as low as -2. Tomorrow sunny, up to 31. Jeff Eno in the KZRG Storm Center.
Zimmer Marketing is proud to partner with local businesses and encourage you to shop local first.
You can find the supplies you need to make the best snacks and beverages for your big game celebrations at Allied Restaurant Supply. Watch the battle of the best while you cook with the equipment the professionals use.
This is Daniel from Allied Restaurant Supply. Come see us at 1316 South Main in Joplin.
Local businesses are the backbone of our communities. Zimmer Marketing encourages you to shop local first.
Not all automobiles are created equal. They can all get you around, but you need to look at the pros and cons of each one and decide which works best for you. When it comes to mortgages, the same rules apply. Not all are created equal. Make sure you get the loan that works best for you at Community Bank and Trust. Factors like interest rates, closing costs, and other options can make each mortgage or refinance drastically different. So if you're looking to buy or refinance...
Good morning, everyone. Rick said legal ownership and responsible gun ownership are not synonymous. Legal gun ownership and responsible gun. Oh yeah, Rick, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Mortgage that works best for you. Get started at one of the local employee-owned CBT locations.
Allie, good morning, Allie. Justice for Alex. Yeah, if he was shot, if the courts come back and say that they shouldn't have done that, then great. I'm waiting to see what the courts say.
Member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 580.
When your pet feels their best, you can see it. In every wag, every stretch, every happy moment. They truly are my best friends. And that's why I really want to make sure I'm doing everything I can to keep them healthy and happy.
At Pinnacle Vet Clinic in Neosho, grooming is more than a beauty routine. It's an important part of keeping your pet healthy, inside and out. Regular grooming helps maintain healthy skin and coat, keeps ears clean, and nails neatly trimmed. Little details like that make a big difference in your pet's comfort and well-being. And you can trust the same Pinnacle Vet Clinic team for your regular vet visits and grooming, which makes it easier on you and your dog. They take the time to make each grooming visit relaxing and safe, so every pet feels cared for and comfortable. Help your pets thrive with a grooming appointment with Pinnacle Vet Clinic. Find them online at pinnaclevetclinic.com or on Facebook. When you want the best for your pets, go to Pinnacle Vet Clinic on Hammer Road in Neosho.
The fever hits, you panic, you check the clock, it's late. The ER means hours of waiting, but AFC Urgent Care Joplin means help. Walk right in, no appointment, no stress, no waiting rooms packed with worry, no endless forms to fill out. Because when your family needs help right now, and you know they deserve care that can't wait, AFC Urgent Care is already ready, just behind Starbucks at 4th and Rangeline in Joplin. AFC Urgent Care, the right care, right now.
Hey, your friend Sean Hannity here. Every weekday starting at 2, I am live on FM 102.9 and AM 1310 News Talk KZRG. Tune in. Stay up to date.
It's the KZRG Morning Challenge.
Your chance to win a complimentary taco, free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Tacos. To win will be the first on the phone with the correct answer at 417-782-1310.
A little bit of literature trivia here. Who was Huck's black friend in the novel The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn?
All right, who was what?
Huck's black friend in the novel The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
And we're looking for a first and last name, correct?
Nope, just first name.
Just first name. 417-782-1310. If you think you know this little literary trivia, give us a ring at 417-782-1310. And what's in it for you? A complimentary taco, free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Tacos. Give us the question again here, Lucas.
Who was Huck's black friend in the novel The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn?
We're looking for a first name. Who was Huck's black friend in the novel of The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn? 417-782-1310. We'll see how closely you paid attention in high school English class. 417-782-1310. Complimentary taco, free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Taco. Who was Huck's friend, black friend, in The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn? 417-782-1310. News Talk KZRG. Do you have a guess?
Jim?
That is correct. Jim. Who do we got here?
Larry.
Hey, Larry. What's
Wouldn't
your
have been
favorite?
awesome if Jim would have been calling.
What's your favorite radio station, Larry?
KZRG.
Oh, love to hear it. Love to hear it. Don't go anywhere, Larry. We'll be with you in just a second here, and you have just won a complimentary taco, free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Tacos. Yeah, Jim. Coming up after the news, a look at what's going on with weather, along with road conditions locally. We have a little peekaroo for you. Also, Iran. Iran is going absolute nutty. We have an update for you on that as well.
The four states news, talk, and severe weather station. KZRG, KIXQ HD2, Joplin. A free service of Zimmer Marketing. It's 8 o'clock.
Digging out from New Mexico to New England. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
This is historic levels of snow and ice, and then following up with single-digit temperatures today, tonight, tomorrow.
Governor Bill Lee in Tennessee, where there are the most power outages, almost a third of the more than 800,000 homes and businesses that allowed electricity this morning across the South and Mid-Atlantic. Fox Weather's Bane Fronies in Dallas, Texas.
We've seen crews out here since yesterday trying to improve the roadways so that folks can get back on them and able to get back to work, back to school.
Well, schools are closed from there up to New England. Some areas got over a foot of snow. At least 9 people have died in the storm, including a teenager killed in a a sledding accident in Texas. There may be even more deaths. A private plane went down during the snow last night and then caught fire in Maine.
The FAA writing, quote, a Bombardier Challenger 600 crashed as it was taking off from Bangor International Airport in Maine around 7:45 local time. 8 people were on board, and we still don't have a status report on those 8 that were on that plane.
Fox's Brian Yennis monitoring from Boston, where there are a lot of flights canceled again today. The storm still making air travel difficult. Nearly 4,000 cancellations the day after 11,000 plus flights were grounded. President Trump's just posted on Truth Social he's sending border czar Tom Homan to Minnesota, where the anti-ICE protest got even angrier after a protester was shot dead over the weekend. Democratic officials in the state got a judge to order evidence be preserved.
The president told the Wall Street Journal the administration was reviewing the incident that led to the death of Alex Preddy. Several members of the administration defended the shooting of Preddy, saying he was carrying a gun. But several videos of the incident show a federal officer pulling a gun away from Preddy, then opening fire on the unarmed man.
Fox's Jill Nato. Hours after Israel launched an operation in Gaza to find the remains of the last dead hostage Hamas took in the terror attack that triggered the war, a body's been located. America's listening to Fox News.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Extreme cold warning through noon today. We're heading for a high of 21. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Jeff Eno following KZRG Sports at 8:08. It is -5 in Neosho, -5 in Pittsburgh, -3 in Joplin, -3 in Galena. On FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG. The Red Cross says prepare for severe winter storms and extreme low temps.
Officials are urging residents to prioritize safety and stay indoors during extreme cold. If your home loses heat, seek shelter at a local library or warming center. If you must head outside, layer your clothing and cover your mouth to protect your lungs. For those on roads, keep your gas tank full and pack an emergency kit with sand, blankets, and water. Finally, look out for one another. A quick call or text to an elderly neighbor or a friend with medical needs can truly be a lifesaver today. You can see the full list of Red Cross safety tips inside the KZRG app. For News Talk KZRG, I'm Ethan Thomas.
The 4 states area still digging out of that winter weather from over the weekend. Stay off the roads if you can, because MoDOT says some roads could remain snow-covered into the middle of this week. Joplin saw a little over 7 inches. Neosho saw a range between 6 and 8, and there's reports of Carthage coming in at around 9 inches of snow over the weekend. Stay safe, stay warm, and you can go to News Talk KZRG for advice on how to survive the extreme cold.
A lot of talks of AI data centers in Missouri, and even the possibility of one in Joplin. Lieutenant Governor David Wassinger told KZRG Morning News Watch he's positive but skeptical.
Missouri can lead on data centers and AI, but only if consumers come first. Innovation, I think, is good, but unaccountable innovation is not. We need to set a lot of guardrails. The last thing we need to do is have data centers that use a lot of power and water that begin affecting utility rates for Missouri families.
His comments come after the Joplin City Council voted to annex and rezone land in the Wildwood Ranch area that could possibly be home to a data center in the future. It is -4 at 8:04. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG.
Bills are making their way through the Missouri legislature that would make sexual grooming, which is a precursor to physical sexual abuse, a crime. Madison works with Missouri State Senator Jill Carter's Vulnerable Youth Advisory Board, and she told News Talk KZRG what is involved with grooming.
Isolating a child from their friends and family, their social network, gift giving, secret keeping, normalization to sexual touch and content, manipulation tactics, pinning them against their friends and family, trying to convince them that any sexual abuse that does take place was consensual or was their fault, or threats.
2 bills have been introduced in the Missouri House to make this illegal, and in the Missouri Senate, a bill has been pushed forward, sponsored by State Senator Jill Carter.
Missouri gambling regulators have rejected an NCAA request to ban bets on college athletes' performances. Move comes 1 week after the NCAA urged state gambling boards to ban college athlete prop bets because of the recent scandals. Prop bets focus on individual player performances like points scored in basketball or passing yards in football. The NCAA the NCAA argues that all these bets are vulnerable to manipulation. Missouri already prohibits prop bets on athletes playing in games involving Missouri colleges, but it does allow them for all the other games.
Now with sports, here's Lucas Davis on News Talk KZRG.
In NFL postseason action, the Patriots beat the Broncos 10-7 in the AFC Conference title game. The Seahawks beat the Rams 31-27 in the NFC Conference title game. The Patriots and the Seahawks will match up in Super Bowl 60 in 2 weeks. In prep basketball, the Carl Junction boys beat Harrisonville 59-53 over the weekend. The Webb City boys beat Blue Valley Southwest 56-53 in the Frontenac tournament. Thomas Jefferson boys beat Pierce City 46-23 in the Tony DuBray Classic title game. And the Thomas Jefferson girls beat Sheldon 28-16 in the Tony DuBray Classic consolation bracket. In D2 basketball, the PSU men and women games against Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh were postponed due to weather. The makeup date has yet to be announced. That's your Crossland Construction Sports Report. Lucas Davis, News Talk KZRG. Your news is brought to you by Kansas City University. KCU Joplin is hiring dentists and full-time staff to join their dental education team. Local dentists can make a lasting impact, full-time, part-time, or even 1 day a week. Apply now at kansascity.edu/jobs. I'm Lucas Davis.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news at 8:30, breaking news as it happens on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker News Talk KZRG. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Now KZRG meteorologist Jeff Eno.
Here's your KZRG forecast. That extreme cold warning goes until noon. Sunny skies up to around 20 with a wind chill as low as -4. Tonight mostly clear. Overnight low 11. Wind chill as low as -2. Tuesday sunshine getting up to 31. I'm Jeff Eno in the KZRG Storm Center.
Weather is a service of Zimmer Marketing. Make 2026 your year of growth. Update your marketing plan when you partner with Zimmer Marketing and see for yourself why it just works.
KZRG Storm Tracker radar showing clear in the four-state area, -5 in Neosho, -5 in Pittsburgh, -4 in Galena, -3 in Joplin. 100 weather updates every 24 hours on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker News Talk KZRG. KZRG News Time, 8:08.
Daniel, the phones are blowing up again, and this winter storm's got everyone's electricity acting wild.
How wild?
Customer number 1 said their house is having mood swings worse than teenagers without Wi-Fi.
Ooh, that's serious. No Wi-Fi? That's end-of-the-world stuff right there.
I told them we can fix the flickering and install a generator so they never lose power again.
That's right. When in doubt, just eye pocket.
Okay, customer number...
Good morning, everybody. Rick said, my brother lives outside Nashville, Tennessee, on top of the mountain with a quarter-mile of a driveway, over an inch of ice, power out since early yesterday morning. Oof. Yeah, that's the price of living, in my opinion. That's the price of living like that. Like, if you want to live off the grid and have your property, I have no beef with that. I think that's awesome. You run a risk of exactly that happening. Like, it's going to take forever for them to get out there to fix your cables. Your driveway, I mean, good luck shoveling all that snow all on your own. You know, I mean, it's a lonely life to live. But you get all the privacy and all that you want, you know? So that's sort of the trade-off. I don't think I could do it, personally.
Give me a chance.
You would do full off-grid living?
Heck yeah.
Wouldn't you get a little annoyed with the 1 hour drive to the store? No?
No, because the 0 neighbors makes up for that drive.
Yeah, see, I'm too social for that. I love my neighbors. Even the neighbors I don't like, I enjoy talking to. I live right next door to a neighborhood market in Joplin, one of the Walmart neighborhood markets. If I run out of eggs or cheese or whatever, I can literally go to the store, purchase my products, and get back within like 7 minutes. It's awesome. I love that.
The point of off-grid living, though, is so you don't have to do that.
Well, what happens when you run out of supplies?
Eggs? Well, you have chickens and lamb.
No, well, I don't want to take care of chickens.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the point of off-grid living, though.
No, I don't want to do that.
You're self-sustaining.
It's a commune.
And the mountains would be the best place to do it for me.
What if there's a medical emergency?
Then you die.
A man lives and then dies, D. Why are we arguing about this?
It's such a good show.
A burner within their reach. Now it fires potent kinetic, tear gas, and pepper ammo rounds that can disable any attacker for up to 30 or 40 minutes. Law enforcement agencies all across the country now use burner technology. Just visit byrna.com today and find the right launcher for you and your family. That's burner.com.
Hinkle's Ace Hardware, they got what you need there.
For generations, our families have serviced customers. Hinkle's Department Store in downtown Macomb, Illinois, Lee's Grocery in Cape Girardeau, Grand Country Homeworks in Grove, and for the past several decades, Hinkle's Ace Hardware. We've grown up understanding the power of a helping hand with the simple belief, service comes first.
And that commitment to being truly helpful is exactly why I decided to join the family business. Hi, this is Colton Hinkle, the second generation carrying on the legacy of Hinkle's Ace Hardware. For 20 years, my parents have built on our family foundation, watching families grow up just like ours.
Our stores are more than hardware. They're a neighborhood tradition built on trust and excellent customer service. We know the products, we know our community, and we know exactly how to help you get the job done right. Hinkle's Ace Hardware in Webb City and Joplin, your locally owned hardware store with neighbors helping neighbors.
Neighbors helping neighbors. Hinkle's Ace Hardware Store.
Zimmer Marketing is proud to partner with local businesses and encourage you to shop local first.
You can find the supplies you need to make the best snacks and beverages for your big game celebrations at Allied Restaurant Supply. Watch the battle of the best while you cook with the equipment the professionals use.
This is Daniel from Allied Restaurant Supply. Come see us at 1316 South Main in Joplin.
Local businesses are the backbone of our communities. Zimmer Marketing encourages you to shop local first.
You're listening to News Talk KZRG 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. Live from the Downstream Casino Resort Studio. From Studio 1Z. With the latest news, commentary, and weather. It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
8:13 is the KZRG news time. -3 in Joplin, -5 in Pittsburgh, -3 in Miami, -5 in Neosho. Hence, Pat Benatar's Fire and Ice. It is icy out there, and it's so cold it almost feels like fire burning your skin because it just pierces right through. Now, we do have an extreme cold warning in effect for the 4 states until 12 noon today. Keep that in mind. It's literally below zero right now. It is as freezing as it gets. We have a high today of 21, tomorrow 31. Wednesday, our high finally breaches freezing. We have a high on 34. Then on Thursday, we sit right at freezing of a high of 32. And on Friday, our high plummets right back down to a high of 23. So keep that in mind. Good news is nothing's going to be coming out of the sky anytime soon, so what's on the ground is what's on the ground. Bad news is it's not going anywhere. With us not getting above freezing, save Wednesday, we're pretty much locked in for what we have. Now, that being said, we did speak with KZRG meteorologist Jeff Eno a little bit earlier, and he told us even when we don't get above freezing, the sunlight does still do some work in melting some snow, which is good in terms of sort of helping us out during the day. The concern, of course, is that refreeze that happens overnight. So tomorrow, please keep that in mind for your commute, that there is a chance of some refreeze action happening. The good news for your commute today, 2 things. Number 1, pretty much all schools are canceled across the board today, which is great if you have to get around. There's less traffic for you to have to deal with. The bad news is the side roads are not doing great. Now, in Joplin, the major thoroughfares are looking really good. 32nd Street is pretty much clear. Range Line, pretty much clear. Main Street, clear. 20th Street, 15th Street, 7th Street, all of those roads are pretty much clear. We have reports out of Carthage and Neosho that the major roadways are pretty much clear as well. Once we start getting to the side roads and the residential areas, that's where you're going to start seeing some problems. So, If you live in Joplin, for instance, typically, if you're trying to get from point A to point B, the fastest, safest way to do so is by avoiding range line. But today, quite the inverse. If you need to get from point A to point B, get on range line as soon as you can, because you're going to have a much easier time being able to cruise around safely on the major roadways today. We also have reports from a local fuel hauler that gave us a ring, along with some comments on our Facebook page. Apparently, some of the fuel haulers were having issues getting around the country over the weekend, including the 4 states, which means some gas stations and truck stops might actually be low on fuel today. So keep that in mind. If your plan was to go and get some gas for your car, you might need to wait a little bit. Now, do not panic. There is still fuel. There is still power. We're all good. You know, it's not like it's end of days. You know, you don't need to bank raid the gas stations. They're not out. Some of them are just low. They're just low on their reserves at all, because some of the haulers that typically would get in on the weekend weren't able to do so. They're still going to try and get around this week. So just keep that in mind. There's some places that are a little bit low gas. Just want to keep you aware of that. All right, let's get into some international news. Iranian security forces, according to multiple international reports, it would appear that they had killed as many as 30,000 protesters.
It's insane.
Executed. The Iranian police basically walked up to these protesters that are mad at their government and shot them in the head.
I would like anybody that's protesting in Minnesota right now to tell me how oppressed they are.
Right, exactly. 30,000 possibly dead. Now, these reports, again, it's from Iran, which is right now functionally a war zone, because that's insane. So take these numbers with a grain of salt, because there's a lot of different numbers, some way lower, some way higher. It's going to be somewhere in between. We don't officially truly know, and we probably never will. But this is coming from liberal international outlets, liberal international human rights organizations saying they think as many as 30,000 have been killed. 2 senior officials from Iran's Ministry of Health, they have said that the internal death count in the government, which this is like a whistleblower report, is about 30,000 from January 8th and January 9th alone. In 2 days, they killed a total of 30,000 people, according to Iranian government insiders. That's what they're reporting internally.
Reporting internally?
You know what? It's early and I'm cold, okay? Apparently, it was so bad that Iran's body bag supplies ran out. So they started just throwing these dead protesters into 18-wheelers. That's oppression.
I don't understand how this isn't all over the news. Like,
where are the liberals in this country
exactly.
that were so upset about the poor Hamas being bullied by Israel? Poor Hamas. Here's Iran, who backed Hamas, by the way, executing 30,000 civilians because they dislike their opinion. Gunshot, 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 dead. Just like that. Now, the crazy thing, and here's to me is the crazy thing, is that Iran's official death toll, their official government response publicly, is they said, well, the protester death count stands not at 30,000, more at around 3,000. That's the number they're saying to make themselves try and look better. Let me tell you something. If any government goes and executes 3,000 peaceful protesters, that still doesn't look good, buddy. If that's the number that you're throwing out there and saying, oh no, we're all good guys, we only executed 3,000 women and children, so we're all fine. That's insane. That number doesn't make them look any better than 30,000 in my opinion. That's a wild number. That's a wild thing to try to hide behind.
30,000 is a city's worth of people.
Yeah.
That's insane.
3,000 is a community.
Yeah.
They went and executed. Again, if you want to go with Iran's number that makes them feel like that makes them look better, that is still an insane amount of people. Meanwhile, we had 2 civilians in this country killed with our protests, and we're on the precipice of burning entire cities down. But Iran is killing 30,000 of them. And where is all the international outcry? That all that energy that went towards defending Hamas, where is that energy defending these unarmed civilians in Iran. It's insane. It's completely insane. So that's the number. Apparently, internal reports from hospitals, Iranian hospitals and stuff, obviously they keep track of injuries and whatnot. So take this with a grain of salt, though, because it's coming from there, so who knows. But apparently, across the country of Iran, doctors documented between 330,000 and 360,000 injuries as a direct result of the Iranian regime shooting civilians.
Once again, no other Middle Eastern country is stepping in to do anything about it.
No, not one. But when Hamas is a problem in Western
better call U.S.
Oh no, we all need to gather around and defend them. But the 30,000 unarmed protesters in Iran that are peacefully voicing their concerns about their leadership, no concern there. It's crazy.
It is wild how many people are dying over there just for protesting. That's why I get so tired of hearing liberals complain about how they have it over here, about the oppression in America. Give me a break.
No, it's nuts. And by the way, again, I'll say this. That's why this country rocks so hard, is because, again, we had 2 American civilians that were unarmed that were shot and killed. And there is real serious conversation and debate about what we are going to do about it as a society. That's awesome. That when there is an instance like this, we don't, regardless of whose fault it is, regardless of how it went down, we're really talking about how do we mitigate this type of thing. Our government is, our punditry is, our citizens are saying, how do we make sure this doesn't happen again? And in Iran, they're offering.
Let's just kill them.
Yeah, machine gun fire. I don't care.
Go get the SIG.
Yeah,
just throw it out there. Maybe it'll just go off on them.
Right. And so I bring that up because I also saw a bunch of stuff on the internet from liberals saying, oh, suddenly conservatives are worried about protesters being killed in Iran, but in America when protesters get killed, they don't care. No, conservatives care about the protesters that were shot and killed in Minnesota. We absolutely do. There's no question about it. We're trying to find the best path forward to make sure that ICE can actually do their job while also making sure our protesters don't get shot. There is a balance to be struck here that we're trying to find as a country in this country. And by the way, again, 2 instances, 2, and we're upset about it. In Iran, 30,000, and no other Middle Eastern country seems to care.
Sometimes I wish just for one day that the oppression would go dictatorship style like other countries across here, just so the protesters would know what it's like to actually be oppressed in a country.
I don't want that at all.
I just want that for them.
All right. I think that's where we might differ.
I just can't tell you how tired I am of hearing about how oppressed people are in this country when they're not at all.
No.
That is what is just getting so tired of hearing.
No, in countries where they're actually oppressed, they're fighting for 2 things. The right to physically live, and the right, basically, for like food and water and shelter and like basic the right to vote and stuff. And like
the right
women
to live.
Have no
That's
rights.
what they're fighting for.
That's pretty much it. It's like a survival fight. Here, it's not it's not a fight for survival. It's a fight for power.
It's a fight for, well, I don't have the nicest car as that guy that lives next to me, so I'm oppressed.
Right. It's like an envy and power game here, as opposed to bodily safety and access to clean food, water, medicine, and the ability to vote in actual oppressed countries. But what are your thoughts, though? Leave us an open mic message. KZRG News Time, 825.
KZRG's Big 3 on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
According to we were just talking about it, but according to that international reporting, a 2-day crackdown in Iran led to as many as 30,000 protesters being killed, making it the deadliest short-term mass killing documented in modern history. And yet, no human rights violation cries from the left.
Number 2.
With the weekend snowfall across the U.S., more than 11,000 flights were canceled, nearing the record of 12,000, which were seen as a result of COVID back in 2020. The snow also left nearly 1 million Americans without power.
Number 1.
Speaking of this weekend snowfall, Joplin saw just over 7 inches of snow over the weekend. Neosho saw 6 to 8 inches, and parts of Carthage saw as much as 9. Major roads in the area are mostly clear, but please drive cautiously and give yourself plenty of time to get to where you need to be.
Now, the KZRG question of the day on News Talk KZRG.
What are your thoughts on Alex Preddy being shot and killed by ICE agents over the weekend in Minnesota? We want to know. Leave us an open mic message or text us at 417-782-1310. Coming up, what's going on with Kim Commando and Tech on News Talk KZRG.
Here's your KZRG forecast. We will hit the low 30s, it looks like, for Tuesday. Now, keep in mind, mid-40s is the average high. The closest we will get to that is the mid-30s on Wednesday. And then it gets cold, especially as we move back towards Friday.
Good morning, everyone. Sarisa said, LOL, I'm watching Glenn back while listening to the live stream, and Glenn and Ted are talking about the exact same thing. Put me in, coach. Tell Glenn to give me a call. I'll help him out. I'll help him out whenever he needs. Kelly said he should have stayed home, in reference to Alex Preddy. He should have stayed home and shouldn't have been obstructing justice, not obeying lawful commands, just saying he should not have been there. Problem solved. Actions have consequences, sometimes extremely severe. Yeah, I would agree with you, Kelly. Actions do have consequences. And yes, I agree that he had a right to be carrying that gun. I even at a protest, I don't mind that, honestly. That's the Second Amendment. I would carry a gun if I thought that someone was going to start popping off too. That's basic, trying to defend yourself. But there are consequences to actions and decisions, and those are the consequences that exist for him. I think it's awful, and I do want to see that investigation because it is pretty wild. I mean, those ICE agents did very clearly take the gun away from him. I don't nobody, not even conservatives, are questioning that. It was pretty clear. So we'll see what the provocation for shooting him that many times is, because it was a pretty wild video. Teresa said, "LOL, you def give Glenn vibes at times." What do you think, Lucas? Do I give Glenn vibes?
The worst kind of Glenn vibes.
Lucas said I give the worst kind of Glenn vibes.
For just $1 each from 23 area watering holes. Each card is only $20 and on sale now. Grab both at newstalkkzrg.com. Quench your thirst, live your best life, and save money with the Zimmer Coffee Card and the Show Me State Beer Card. Buy yours now for only $20 each at newstalkkzrg.com.
Clay Travis here and Buck Sexton. Make your day better and come hang with us from 11 to 2 p.m. right here on News Talk KZRG.
We talk news, politics, sports, and also some fun culture stuff, too.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
-3 in Joplin, -3 in Pittsburgh, -3 in Neosho, -3 in Miami. It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. We have an extreme cold warning in effect for the 4 states until 12 noon today. We have a high of 21. 31 is the high tomorrow. 34 is the high on Wednesday, which means most of what's on the ground is going to be sticking around because we're not going to be getting till above freezing until Wednesday, and even then, only for a brief period of time. Now, the good news is nothing's going to be falling out of the skies for the rest of the week, so no more snowfall, so that's great. We're pretty much locked in with what we have. The other good news is most major roadways and highways in and around the 4 states are good. What I mean by that is, let's take Joplin, for instance. Range line, mostly clear in terms of road travel. Pretty much all the snow is off. At Main Street, almost entirely clear. 20th, 7th, 15th, pretty much completely clear. Neosho, Carthage, we have reports that major roads are clear on that as well. Highways, to and fro Neosho, to and fro Carthage. MoDOT and KDOT did a great job over the weekend clearing those roads, so those are mostly clear as well. When we get into the residential and side roads, that's when you're going to start seeing some problems. There's no question about it. In all of our communities, residential and side roads are definitely on the struggle bus still this morning. So that means that the safest way to get around, let's say Joplin, for instance, and the quickest way to get around actually is Range Line. which is counter to, normal weather conditions. Usually I'm taking all the side roads to avoid range line, but not today. Today, you're going to want to be on range line. Something else to keep in mind if you are a Joplin resident, trash services today have been canceled. They're not happening. Speaking of cancelizations, most schools in the Four States area canceled today as well, so keep that in mind. That's going to help alleviate some potential traffic issues, so that's always a good sign, at least in the short run. Some things to be concerned about. We just got off the horn with KZRG meteorologist Jeff Eno. He let us know that even if it's not above freezing, sunlight still can melt some snow, which is going to be an issue when it comes to the refreeze tonight. So even though we're not doing too bad today in terms of safety and ice and whatnot, tomorrow it could actually be a little worse. So just keep that in mind as well. We'll have more for you on weather stuffs coming up next on News Talk KZRG.
At 8:30, I'm Lucas Davis.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG. Ron's warning.
Minnesota lawsuit.
Tax season begins. And no one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. We have an extreme cold warning through noon today. Heading for a high of 21. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Jeff Eno following KZRG Sports at 8:38. It is -5 in Neosho, -5 in Pittsburgh, -3 in Galena, -3 in Joplin, FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker News Talk KZRG. A visual warning to the U.S. is unveiled in Iran.
If you sow the wind, you will reap the whirlwind. That slogan forms part of a new mural unveiled in Iran's capital, Tehran. It's a direct warning to the United States not to carry out an attack. The image shows an aircraft carrier with damaged and exploding fighter planes on its deck. Blood flows from dead bodies into the water, forming stripes like those on the American flag. Right now, the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier and several other warships are on their way to the region. Tension remains after Iran brutally snuffed out anti-regime protests. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
2 days after another deadly shooting in Minnesota by federal agents, and Minnesota goes to court to stop the Department of Homeland Security's enforcement.
CBP Commander-at-Large Greg Bovino said Sunday there will be no backing off their duties.
Our Title VIII immigration mission continues unabated here in Minneapolis.
Minnesota leaders seek to force ICE and Border Patrol to leave after shootings that have killed 2 Minnesota residents. State Attorney General Keith Ellison said he'll be in court today arguing that the federal government has infringed upon Minnesotans.
Because of politics, which violates our First Amendment rights. The 10th Amendment, which we are entitled as a state to equal sovereignty, and we have been denied that.
The lawsuit seeks an immediate temporary injunction to halt immigration enforcement. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Today marks the joyous start of the 2026 tax filing season.
The IRS says today's the day you can start filing your 2025 taxes, which are due by April 15th. So get those W-2s or 1099s in hand. Changes to keep in mind this year due to the so-called Big Beautiful Bill include new deductions, like up to $25,000 on tips and over $12,000 in overtime. The federal limit on deducting state and local taxes was raised to $40,000 for most people. And there are also deductions for those older than 65, as well as for those who purchased U.S. assembled vehicles. You can apply for a tax filing extension, and the IRS does not demand a reason, but you do need to file an official form. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
It's -3 at 8:34, FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker News Talk KZRG.
The Red Cross offering some advice to stay safe during these extreme low temps.
Officials are urging residents to prioritize safety and stay indoors during extreme cold. If your home loses heat, seek shelter at a local library or warming center. If you must head outside, layer your clothing and cover your mouth to protect your lungs. For those on roads, keep your gas tank full and pack an emergency kit with sand, blankets, and water. Finally, look out for one another. A quick call or text to an elderly neighbor or a friend with medical needs can truly be a lifesaver today. You can see the full list of Red Cross safety tips inside the KZRG app. For News Talk KZRG, I'm Ethan Thomas.
Bill and Hillary Clinton failed to show up to testify before Congress about their knowledge of the Epstein saga. Both have been held in contempt of Congress, being referred to the DOJ. Southwest Missouri Congressman Eric Burleson told News Talk KZRG.
I do know that if we can get this to Pam Bondi, they've assured us that they will follow through and she will prosecute.
If convicted of contempt of Congress, the Clintons could spend up to 1 year in jail. It is -3 at 8:35. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG.
Bills making their way through the Missouri legislature that would make sexual grooming, which is a precursor to physical sexual abuse, a crime. Madison works with Missouri State Senator Jill Carter's Vulnerable Youth Advisory Board, and she told News Talk KZRG what grooming is.
It is a manipulative process that sexual predators use to gain trust of their victims in order to ensure compliance and prevent disclosure.
The two bills have been introduced in the Missouri House, with the sister bill on the Senate side of things being sponsored by Missouri State Senator Jill Carter.
Tesla wants its drivers to do less driving.
Tesla, the EV car company headed up by Elon Musk, is discontinuing its assisted driving program called Autopilot, which helped to keep the vehicle centered in the lane and provided a speed-adjusting cruise control. Instead, Tesla is transitioning its full self-driving software from an expensive purchase to a much less expensive monthly subscription. FSD automatically steers, accelerates, slows, and brakes using smart tech to understand traffic flow, though still requires drivers to be alert and involved. Eben Brown, Fox News.
Now with sports, here's Lucas Davis on News Talk KZRG.
In NFL postseason action, the Patriots beat the Broncos 10-7 in the AFC Conference title game. The Seahawks beat the Rams 31-27 in the NFC Conference title game. The Patriots and the Seahawks will match up in Super Bowl 60 in 2 weeks. In prep basketball, the Carl Junction boys beat Harrisonville 59-53 over the weekend. The Webb City boys beat Blue Valley Southwest 56-53 in the Frontenac tournament. The Thomas Jefferson boys beat Pierce City 46-23 in the Tony DuBray Classic title game. And the Thomas Jefferson girls beat Sheldon 28-16 in the Tony DuBray Classic consolation bracket. In D2 basketball, the PSU men and women games against Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh were postponed due to weather. The makeup date has yet to be announced. That's your Crossland Construction Sports Report. Lucas Davis, News Talk KZRG. Your news is brought to you by Kansas City University. KCU Joplin is hiring dentists and full-time staff to join their dental education team. Local dentists can make a lasting impact full-time, part-time, or even 1 day a week. Apply now at kansascity.edu/jobs. I'm Lucas Davis.
And time, Ted Borges.
Next news at 9 o'clock. Breaking news as it happens on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Now KZRG meteorologist Jeff Eno.
Here's your KZRG forecast. We will hit the low 30s, it looks like, for Tuesday. Now, keep in mind, mid-40s is the average high. The closest we will get to that is the mid-30s on Wednesday. And then it gets cold, especially as we move back towards Friday. Extreme cold warning, the old wind chill warning, goes until noon. Sunshine up to around 20 today. Wind chill as low as -4. Tonight mostly clear, low 11. Wind chill as low as -2. Tomorrow sunny, up to 31. Jeff Eno in the KZRG Storm Center.
KZRG Storm Tracker radar showing clear in the four-state area. -5 in Neosho, -5 in Pittsburgh, -4 in Galena, -3 in Joplin. 100 weather updates every 24 hours on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG. KZRG News Time, 8:40.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with AutoPay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
My name is Brandy. I am the lead assistant for Team Dental of Joplin, and this is Hadley. She is one of my favorite patients here at Team Dental of Joplin. Hadley, what do you want to be when you grow up?
The answer to that question is a dentist.
What made you decide you want to be a dentist?
Just seeing how they work and how nice.
Good morning, everyone. She said, even Avery agrees on the Glenn vibes, and she grew up listening to Glenn back in Rush Limbaugh. Huh. I'll have to give Glenn a call. Tell him when he's out sick, I'll fill in. Don't worry, Glenny boy, I'll help you out. Rick said, brother just checked in, said TVA lost the main supply line that powers all of Williamson County. Hoping to get it restored sometime later today. Over 200,000 accounts affected. Wow, that's crazy. I say we set some goals together this year. Sarisa said, Ted, I don't know how familiar you are with Glenn Beck, but I think you'd like him. He always questions things, plays devil's advocate, and has a tendency to connect the dots in ways that most people don't see. Oh yeah, no, I'm familiar with Glenn. I like Glenn a lot. I think he's great. I know he's not quite as big as he once was, but I think he's pretty dope. If you ever fill in for Glenn, give me his autograph, LOL. Yeah, exactly. I'll have I'll walk in and I'll hand Glenn back an autographed photo of me. That will get me kicked out of his studio in a heartbeat. But yeah, no, it's gonna be real chilly today. Our high is 21. We're gonna get to it more on air too. High tomorrow, 31. 34 is the high on Wednesday. So that's the only solace we get. And I'm sitting here right now thinking out loud if we have a staff meeting today or not. I'm trying to figure that one out. I know I haven't gotten word of a cancelization yet, but yeah, no Monday morning canceled. No, yeah. I should have brought lunch. I'm very upset that I didn't. I do not want to. I do not want to go get lunch.
They are all accepted.
Hi, I'm Toby Davis with the Independent Living Center. Our mission is to help individuals with disabilities maintain their independence while staying in the comfort of their own homes. Our professional home attendants are committed to providing whatever level of care necessary to accomplish this vision. For details on the many services we're able to provide and how we can help you or a loved one, please visit ilcenter.org.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Morris from the Joplin Expo. The Joplin Home Show is back for a 2-day event. Join us February 7th and 8th at the new Joplin Expo. Enjoy free entry, plenty of free parking, and a free swag bag at the door, plus giveaways from our vendors. Homeowners can browse over 40,000 square feet of displays and demonstrations to find ideas, inspiration, and solutions for every room in the house. You'll meet local and regional contractors, builders, and home entertainment specialists face-to-face. You can ask questions and book projects on the spot. Plus, explore new categories like home audio, smart home technology, outdoor living, and even motorsports to complement your lifestyle. This is a fresh take on the classic Joplin Home Show you remember, updated, expanded, and designed to become an annual staple as we grow. It all happens inside our brand new, centrally located Joplin Expo, the largest in the area. Vendor applications are now being accepted, so reserve your booth today at joplinexpo.com. Don't miss the inaugural Joplin Home Show, February 7th and 8th at the Joplin Expo.
The world moves fast, so tune in to me, Mark Levin, every weekday starting at 5 on News Talk KZRG for the latest news, politics, and commentary. You won't want to miss it.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk, KZRG.
8:45 is the KZRG News Time. Ted Bojorquez.
Lucas Davis.
We have a high today of 21, which means we will not be getting above freezing. It is currently at 8:45, -3 degrees Fahrenheit in Joplin, -1 in Pittsburgh, -1 in Miami, -1 in Neosho. So it is as cold as can be, as cold as ice even. We have a high tomorrow of 31. We're not going to even get to above freezing until Wednesday, when we have a high of 34. And then we're going to be heading right back down on Thursday to a high of 32, and then dropping even lower on Friday for a high of 23. Good news is, if you need to commute this morning, most major roadways in Joplin, for instance, are pretty much clear. Range Line, Main Street, 7th Street, 20th, 15th Street, all of them pretty much completely clear. 32nd Street. Same with Neosho and Carthage. We have reports that the major main thoroughfares are doing pretty well. Once you get into the residential and back roads, that's when you start seeing some issues. And there's no question about it. Those are going to be problematic roads to drive. So if you can avoid them, do so. Something else to keep in mind, most schools across the area are canceled today as well, so that's a big one. And in addition to that, in Joplin, trash services have been canceled as well, so keep that in mind. Also, a little friendly advice, if you do need to go somewhere for, I don't know, whether it's a doctor's visit or to the store to get something, or if you want to just go grab a cup of coffee at your favorite local eatery, go ahead and check their social media before you make the trek out there, because a lot of them are closed for the day and are not operating on normal hours. So before you head anywhere, definitely take a little Google search, check out their social media, see if they posted anything about an early closure. Something else to keep in mind, we're getting a lot of reports of local fuelers not getting their haul over the weekend. A lot of fuel haulers had a hard time getting around the country this weekend. So what that means is that some of our local gas stations and diesel pumps are running a little low. Now, it's not a big deal. Don't go panic mode. You don't need to go, bank run the gas stations. They're still doing fine. Some of them just might be slightly low supply. So if you were planning on filling up 30 gallons of gas or, 15 of those little extra supplementary gas canisters, maybe today's not the day. And if you don't need to drive, go ahead and don't drive. And that could be a great excuse for you to get out of work. And we're all about excuses to help you get out of work today. So that's where we're at. News Talk KZRG will have some more details for you on weather. Some couple of little quick weather factoids for you for keeping you and your family safe. As it turns out, one of the best ways you can keep you and your family safe during this winter time for normal day-to-day activities like today is keeping your lungs safe. Yeah, I didn't realize this, but apparently cold air is actually really bad for your lungs. Extremely cold air, I should say. And we do, by the way, have that extreme cold advisory in effect, extreme cold warning in effect until 12 noon today. But as it turns out, extremely cold air in your lungs is super, super unhealthy for you because it acts as this dry, freezing air. It acts as an irritant. And it can cause airways to tighten or bronchospasms. It's like bronchitis type situation. So for those older four-staters out there that already have some breathing issues or maybe have some concerns about your air and your oxygen intake, definitely stay indoors because it could be really bad for your lungs. Extreme cold air also increases mucus production, which could be really harmful to you as well. That's why when you're outside and it's really cold and your nose starts getting really runny and you got to blow your nose all the time, it's increased mucus production, all of that. It can also really, really be bad for people with asthma or COPD. It can lead to coughing and wheezing, shortness of breath. So for our older four-staters, even just breathing this extreme cold air can be really unhealthy. So please keep that in mind. For our fuzzy buddies out there, our furry friends, frostbite, very serious risk for our pets right now. Frostbite in animals often appears in their ears, in their tails, and in their paws. So keep that in mind as well. They might be struggling and they might look to you for a little bit of help. So bring them indoors if they're outdoor animals. Unless you have like meow moos or whatever they're called, or those, what are the Huskies? If you have like a true Alaskan Husky, maybe they're fine out in this weather. They might actually like it. But unless you have, those giant mountain dogs, you're going to want to go ahead and bring them in. And if you want some friendly advice on how to spot frostbite in animals and in people, you can go to news.kzrg.com, click on the article, and that is where you can get some of that info right there. KZRG News Time, 8:50.
KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
According to international reporting, a 2-day crackdown in Iran led to as many as 30,000 protesters being killed, making it the deadliest short-term mass killing documented in modern history. Where were all the cries for human rights violations from the left? Oh yeah, non-existent.
Number 2.
With the weekend snowfall across the U.S., more than 11,000 flights were canceled, nearing the record of 12,000, which was seen in 2020 as a result of COVID. The snow also left nearly 1 million Americans without power.
Number 1.
Speaking of this weekend's snowfall, Joplin saw over 7 inches of snow. Over the weekend, Neosho saw between 6 and 8, and Parth and Carthage saw as many as 9 inches. Major roads in the area are mostly clear, but please drive very carefully and cautiously and give yourself plenty of time to get to where you need to be.
Now, the KZRG question of the day on News Talk KZRG.
Alex Preddy was shot and killed by ICE agents in Minnesota over the weekend. What are your thoughts on that? Did you see the video? We want to know your thinking. Go to KZRG's Facebook page, News Talk KZRG on Facebook. You can also go to news.kzrg.com. We have our KZRG poll active there as well. Our poll question right now, it'll be up for a couple of days. The question is, what do you want to see the Trump administration spend more time focusing on? Foreign affairs, the U.S. economy, immigration, or corruption? Which of those 4 would you like to see the Trump admin spend more time looking at? We want to know. Go to KZRG's website, newstalkkzrg.com. Coming up, we have some more info for you on this snowy weather on News Talk KZRG.
Here's your KZRG forecast. We will hit the low 30s, it looks like, for Tuesday. Now, keep in mind, mid-40s is the average high. The closest we will get to that is the mid-30s on Wednesday. And then...
Good morning, everyone.
Wind chill warning goes until noon. Sunshine up to around 20 today. Wind chill as low as -4.
Carol said, common sense, fill up the car before it started. I did. Yep, so did I, Carol. I did exactly that. I gassed up my car. I checked my tires. I made sure I had all my snow equipment in the car if I needed. I had my scraper, blanket, stuff like that. I put it all in the car. She said, the only reason Glenn isn't as big as he used to be is because there's so many different voices now. He and Rush were directly responsible for the growing popularity of conservative radio. That I completely agree with. But I don't know anyone that trusts Fox like they used to. I stopped watching Fox. No, I totally agree with all that, seriously. Totally spot on. Well, anyway, thanks again for hanging out with us, guys. Stay tuned, because KZRG, we're going to have a bunch of weather updates for you. We're going to have some news for you on our site and on air here. Both national, international, and local, of course. So please stay safe. If you guys see anything out there that you think the 4 states needs to be aware of, text us at 417-782-1310 or leave us an open mic message. So that way we can help get the word out to help keep people safe. I know Sheila sent us a bunch of memes. Appreciate it, Sheila. Thank you for texting us memes. I always love those. But